Welcome everybody to a very special episode of Extra Trashy. We just saw the conclusion of quite possibly the greatest Capcom Cup of all time, Capcom Cup 11, where Kakeru, through winner's side with his JP, just won $1 million. But of course, the main story out of this tournament was Blaz, 15 years old, out of Chile, getting second place with Ryu, and along the way, leaving bodies of the greatest players we had known up until this point, legends falling left, right, and center. On this episode, I debate with RobTV which one of us had the most accurate predictions from our prediction stream, and we also discuss what does Blaz's run mean for the future of Street Fighter esports. This episode was recorded live on stream, so things might be a little rough around the edges in terms of the quality, but it's a very fun episode. Please enjoy. Extra Trashy, it begins now. All right, Rob, it's time to... Okay, we might debate. I know we like to debate. We might just naturally end up doing that. But I just want to talk about Capcom Cup 11 and how I called Kakeru winning from the beginning, and you and iDom, we got cooked. I saw people talking mad shit about our predictions because we had everything completely fucking wrong. But I called Kakeru out of that group.
I'm not gonna give you the credit of saying that you called Kakeru. I'm gonna say that he was your pick, he was your pick, but saying you called him is a little heavy.
He was my pick. What do you mean? And no, look at this comment.
That's
Hold on.
Two separate things, brother. That's two separate things.
A pick and calling it. All right. On our discussion, this comment that was just crazy. Shout outs to the Alex010. I'm sharing my screen. You might be able to see. I don't know. He went through all of our picks and said who picked what, and then put the actual pick down there. He actually went and graded us. Who was the only human being at Group B? Only one human being had Noah the Prodigy on winner's side. That's true. Yeah. Okay, but that's a side character in the story. I mean, that's great, but
no, he's not. He's a main character. I predict Noah and NL. Hold up, let me see. So where did you get Kakeru? What'd you say?
In Group C, the whole thing got fucked up because you two did not. I don't understand how neither of you put Kakeru. I said Kakeru Tokido.
I have Kakeru. iDom is the stupid one.
No,
I put Kakeru in mine.
And the losers though. I guess I can give you that.
But no, you did. But you the one who I'm gonna give you that. And at the group thing, at our round table. Yeah, you did.
I called it from the beginning. What are you talking? I said Kakeru. That was my call from the beginning.
Brian, in the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna give you some credit.
Thank you.
Like maybe you know a thing or two. I'm gonna give you a little bit of credit. Now I don't think that's something you would have bet on. You wouldn't have bet on him.
Not a human on the planet bets on Capcom Cup from before it starts.
Yeah. For good reason. You don't
bet on Capcom Cup.
I'm gonna have to check the tapes to see if you had Kakeru winning the whole Damn, you did say that though.
But he didn't make it out of groups in our prediction, so I had to work with what we had. I got outvoted.
He made it out of group in my prediction.
Yeah, but with the combination ended up with Tokido, Dual Kevin.
And Noah should have been further along than what y'all had, but y'all ain't want to believe that the second best player in America, non-debatably, one of the best players in the world was what he is. Cause y'all, you know what I'm saying? Cause he don't know how to act. Because he be popping off awkwardly. But he get them results.
I just called JV beating him. Noah getting that far, I don't think I would have called it necessarily, but it's not surprising to me at all. I agree with your assessment of him just being so fucking comfortable that it doesn't matter what stage he's on. And this whole season, he actually did better at the harder tournaments every single time. His regular performance in between the big moments was way significantly worse. I don't know what happened to him at Evo, but any regular season tournament, he kind of did worse. And then Esports World Cup,
not enough money,
not as much money.
You know, and I'm serious when I say that. Look, who was I talking to on the phone? It might have been Danny. I know Danny's in the chat. It might have been Danny who brought this point up, but I agree that basically, he was hot take, bro, low key. He was like, Capcom Cup is harder than Evo, no matter what people say. And I'm like,
you think?
And I'm like, bro, I'm like, I agree because it's don't get me wrong, Evo has the most prestige, bro. I don't give a damn if I start a tournament tomorrow with no history. but I say there's $10 million for first place, and second place get $1,000, right? 10 million for first place. You can change your family life forever, everybody forever. That's now the hardest tournament. I don't give a fuck. And results show us that, because we see consistent results at EVO every year. Every year. It's Capcom Cup where the best players and EWC and stuff like that, where the money is the biggest, and you want to
hold on. Uma?
Facts.
Uma? You think Uma's the best player?
Oh.
What are you talking about, dude? I absolutely disagree. I think there's so much.
No, Uma proves my point. Never mind, I walked up for no reason. Uma proves my point. Yes. My point was that, I don't know if I said it wrong, but my point was that the best players fail at these big money tournaments. I'm not saying the best player wins Capcom Cup.
Wait, hold on.
I'm saying
I don't care what you. I think that's what you just said. I think we watch a replay. You just said that. It's okay to change your opinion. I'm just gonna call you out. It's okay to refine it.
Okay.
It's okay to refine it.
No. I'm not changing my opinion.
I think you just said that.
The point I was trying to make. I'm sure I probably spoke wrong, but you probably heard me say this before. I think that the hardest tournament to win is where the most money is on the line.
Okay.
Is because that's when the pressure is the highest, and in those events, the best players usually fail and struggle because their nerves are so high. So I think the hardest tournament is the big money tournament, no matter what the prestige is.
Yeah,
and I think no one succeeds at that.
There's like a difference between the hardest tournament to win because the players can fail to win. The best players can fail to win the hardest tournament, but it's not like the best player necessarily wins, right? I can see your perspective there. Yeah, I kind of get that. I think naturally the marathon nature of EVO just whittles down a different type of player to the end every time. I think Capcom Cup in its current format with groups in the top 16, and there's so many more variables because, like I said, I think 2023 in comparison to Capcom Cup 11 was ass. Terrible. Like, not that there was nothing redeemable about it, but I think Capcom Cup 11 blew the fucking water out of Capcom Cup 10. And I think a large part of that was both the world being better at the game right now, because all the regions stepped up, even existing regions stepped up. I also think there was a bit more like the offline competition, the 10 qualifiers, even though I think only five got through the top 16, to be fair. A lot of the people in the top 8 were World Warrior. Like, it was only
but
Leshar.
They still make the groups they still make the groups way more exciting, which either just by being there, even if they lose, either they're making the groups more entertaining to watch, or they're building the story of the underdog who beat them, which still makes it. But real quick, I just want to put out, I'm not saying that the person who wins Capcom Cup is not the best player.
Sure.
Kakeru and Blaz were the best players at Capcom Cup. That's not my point. I'm just saying that a lot of Kakeru didn't fail, but a lot of the best players fail, which we regularly see at the big money events. That's all I'm saying. Which shows
I agree with that. But it's interesting the topic of like best and consistency versus one-off, because I can see it's so biased, right? And maybe it's wrong to think this way, but I feel like when you watch like a Blaz or Kakeru, you see a consistent future ahead of them. You don't feel like they're gonna. You feel like they're probably gonna keep doing that sort of thing in the future, right? But that doesn't. It's not always the case. And you know who got hit with that was MenaRD. People like counted in 2017. They said MenaRD will never win another tournament again. And you know what? He did struggle for a while. He had to. I think he had to grow into that position of being the champ and adapt. He got nerfed heavily, right? He was kind of really using like the bullhead pushback at the time, or bullhorn. I always mix them up. But like he had a lot of his tactics that were kind of abusable were nerfed, and he had to adapt, and he became who he was after that Capcom Cup. But watching this one, I'm like, Blaz, Kakeru, like Kakeru already was that guy, and Blaz proved, I think, in the way you watch him play and the way he dominated, I foresee him doing that again and again and again.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I don't see how people look at someone like Blaz, like, in all seriousness, bro, I don't see how, if you're a competitor and you've been doing this for a while and you look at Blaz at 15 years old playing like that, and I don't see how you see that and don't acknowledge that, like, some people's brains are different, like deeper than hard work, deeper than all that. I'm telling y'all, Blaz is born different, bro.
Well, hold up.
Worked very hard, but
what if I do agree to a degree that's I think genetics play a factor and whatever. Just like the sports, it's so obvious, right? You're physically built some way. Like So in your mind, it could have an influence as well. But I absolutely believe, and this has been backed up the most because we could study this, your plasticity of your brain is at its greatest when you're young. Starting young in any kind of mental endeavor is just the cheat code. Blaz started with guidance from his dad and his community at like fucking probably from, I don't know the exact year he started playing, but I'm sure it was like when he was out the womb almost, right? And by the time he was 10, 12 years old, he's beating ass. He's beating grown men in Street Fighter 5 at that time already.
But you know, the only thing with that, Brian, that's a great point. The only thing I would say to that is that only would explain his technical ability. Whereas you don't win Capcom Cup with technical ability. You win Capcom Cup with that, and I believe that's why certain people like Noah, Blaz, and a lot of Asian players, I think there's a reason why we see them perform so like Leshar. I believe there's certain temperaments that are better for handling these huge, like they just are, if you're even. Now I know Noah isn't necessarily even, but he's a different type. He's so confident that he's damn near aloof to the significance of the situation, in my opinion.
That's, you know, his what I mean? Power up, like, for sure.
Yes, he doesn't know he's supposed to be nervous right now. You know what I mean? He's like aloof, and it makes him like just play with supreme perfect confidence. Whereas like some of the Asian players, I think they're just so you know. I don't know if stoicism would be the word, you know, but it's very. I think those things are best at handling big money tournaments. Whereas if you're somebody that's a little bit more hot, a little bit more, you know. So anyway, to the original point, not to miss the point. I think you can't train that part of Blaz. That only explains his technical ability. He didn't get to practice. You only get better at big pressure situations by being in. You can't read a book for that. You can't study for that. You can't watch a YouTube video for that. You got to be in a situation to take in the last shot. And this is only his third offline tournament in his life.
Right. No, it was really surprising. I mean, that was like when we talked about it, right? Like, because I had been, you saw Blaz in person at Blink Respawn, and I got to study up on him heavy when he was starting to win all the World Warriors in South America East. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like when I finally tuned in, because there was a bunch of tweets. So shout outs to South America East, Chile, all that region. They were making noise about Blaz for a while, and that literally is what caught my eye. I was like, oh, okay, Blaz is winning. Some people were tagging me in tweets about him playing Ed, whatever. And then finally started like snooping around, and I was like, oh, wait, like this is not just like some guy winning. He's winning with. You can see it. Like as soon as I started watching, I was like, I see the vision. I'm seeing the fundamentals. I'm seeing the gameplay, the whip punishes, the with Ed, with Ryu, with everybody else. Like this doesn't make sense that this is a 15-year-old kid. So I was really looking forward to him at Capcom Cup. But I thought like the reason why I didn't call him to get out of that group, for example, even though I was like, I don't know, Blaz looks good. I thought he would be nervous. I thought he would shit his pants, get to Japan, be like, holy shit, I've never been here before. 15. I thought he would be human in these moments, and he was just, I'm sure he was nervous. I don't think he lacks that emotion, but I think it's a combination of handling it well plus just being that much better. I think it's both. I don't want to just make it purely about. I don't think it's just being that much better. I think it's a combination.
Hot take, maybe. For my eyeballs, he played the best out of everybody, including Kakeru. For my eyeballs, now that can sound crazy because Kakeru played perfect and he won a tournament. But we can get deeper into that when we talk about grand finals. I think I was most impressed by Blaz.
Yeah.
But still, bro, like everybody does have nerves, but the way he was able to handle that, brother, that's different. I don't think if he sits and plays casuals I don't believe he has more like technical ability to like Punk and these guys necessarily. I'm not gonna say he has more. He can have the same.
But I see what you're saying. If
he sit down and have a first to 7 with Punk, who you putting money on? Who you putting money on? Punk versus Blaz first to 7 tomorrow.
First to 7, I would still put money on Punk, I guess. But this is just data points. Also, it's also because data points, right? Punk's just been doing it for so long, and a longer set gives more time to adapt. And in that kind of a format, I would favor Punk. But I do agree. The most surprising thing was in the short set format to be immediately on points, playing near your maximum potential and never wavering from that the entire time. Even when he was losing to Kakeru, I do think maybe there was a bit of a misplay. It's hard to say within the grand finals, like the chip sequence he could have gone for because Kakeru was in burnout. Maybe there was a hint of some decision-making error, but the whole time he was just steamrolling on point. Even when Shuto was challenging him 3-2, it never felt like the confidence was in the gameplay the entire time. He exuded it consistently. So
bro, it's one of the most impressive performances I've seen in my life, Street Fighter or otherwise. Like, as far as just competition, you know, I'm a huge sports fan. This is one of the most impressive things I have ever seen in my life as far as competition, bro. Right. Like, he's 15. He 3-0 Xian, I think. Yeah. He 3-0's Noah, AngryBird, and Leshar back to back.
And you saw, but like, it was clear once he got to top 16, he lost to Kakeru, right? So it's like, oh, maybe the dream run is over, right? But then you remember the opening play against Xian? He did one fireball, and then he did walk, block, walk, block, walk, block, walk, block, throw. He Daigo walked on Xian round one from half screen away into his grill and threw him. And when I saw that in the first round of top 16 losers for him, I'm like, I knew from that moment, I was like unsure. And then Kakeru beat him. I was like, oh yeah, maybe. And then he did that to Xian. I was like, oh, he's going to the moon, baby. Like, I knew it was about to make that run.
Yeah. Bro, and how about the fact that he's doing it with, in chat, I'm not saying that this character is not good, but he did it with Ryu, bro.
It means
that's
something
extra godlike
spiritually
to me. Yeah. That he did it with Ryu. You 15 and the character was Ryu of all characters, brother. Right. Like, and who we looked at as the best Ryu went 0-5, God bless
the
him.
Opposite. So the opposite type of performance. Kusanagi, I felt like I think that was the moment. I don't know. I feel like Kusanagi played far below his capabilities at Capcom Cup. I also agree that's not a skill thing, right? I think he has the skill to beat he's done it. Yes. You know? I think that was something mentally, I'm not sure where he was in his own headspace. I'd be interested to hear his thoughts, but I feel he very underperformed for his level.
Brian, if Blaz wants to see this, he is, bro. That motherfucker. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. I seen enough. I'm not one to put too much sauce on one tournament, even if it's Capcom Cup. I'm not putting too much sauce on one tournament.
That's what I was saying earlier. It's about how you win.
The way he did it.
Yes. And that's why I said sometimes it's tough to make those kind of predictions, and sometimes it comes across as downplaying the players. That's why I'm careful about it, because that's why I bring up like the MenaRD example, and even Uma. Uma's an amazing player. I don't want to sound like I'm crapping on Uma. Super strong player. However, there was a difference in my soul when you see how Blaz approached it with Ryu, and the fact that he did it through losers. We got to see so much more evidence, and in such a dominating fashion with Ryu, which even though he hits like a fucking truck, he's kind of busted. His Hashogeki burnout pressure that is not the Ryu I knew in Street Fighter 4 third strike. You know, Hashogeki right now with especially when they get put into burnout and the OD Hashogeki plus frames, that is not the Ryu we used to know. So let's be clear about that. He has some cheap ass fucking pressure. Like, that is ridiculous. The way he chunked the people's drive gauge. I saw him get a jump in combo and then stop the combo short after a heavy punch to do another heavy punch on block to Denjin Hasho to another heavy punch to Odi Hasho to burn them out. Like, he had a combo and he stopped the combo and it's like, oh, your drive gauge is at like 1.5 bars. Instead of getting the combo here, let me just immediately stop and burn you the fuck out immediately and then rush you to the corner and DI stun you.
But to even decide to do that and think like that fast under that pressure at his age is unfathomable, right? Brother.
But it shows also that Ryu has the tools to be
ridiculous. Brother, you know, we've been on Twitter or fighting with the Ryu players and letting them know the truth about them goddamn self. Ryu players gonna cry no matter what. You know what I mean?
Was there any Ryu crying after this? I've been...
Hell no.
Right?
They're quiet. Shit gotta be over with by now. They silent as hell.
I did not think about that. I did not see one Ryu player like, oh, only Blaz could do it. No one else could. You know, for years, it looked like he playing a different... It's like he playing a different character than him, bro. Yeah. Like, straight up. But I'm telling you, bro, I can't wait to. You need to you need to do an interview with Blaz or something. If I was there, I would do a little interview with him or something. But Blaz, I'm telling y'all, look, man, you know, so I'm telling y'all, I expect him, like I'm sure everybody watching this thinks, I think he will end up being, if he wants to keep doing this, he's going to be one of the greats. So I just got to let y'all know that early on, like I told my boy Brian, we had goddamn top 8 fucking Blink Respawn. That was his first offline tournament. He got top 8. By the way, we got to talk about Crime too, because y'all sleeping on Crime. He's next.
You know, he get top 8 and he lost. He was real sad. And I wrote him a message and I put it like, I translated it or whatever, because he was sad after he lost and everything. And, you know, it was a little emotional situation. And you know what? That's how he won Capcom. That's how he got second at Capcom Cup. You know what I'm saying? That's how he got second at Capcom Cup, brother. And you know, I ain't bragging about it. It is what it is. So it gave him some inspirational words. It hit deep to him. That story really did happen, though.
What kind of a percentage cut is that? Is that like a 10%, 15 of a
hey, man,
100K? You know,
I ain't gonna say that crazy. I'll say 25. 25%.
Cool, 25. Yeah, exactly.
Pre-tax.
Hollywood RobTV's words are that inspiring. I understand. Yeah, it makes sense.
But in all, that dude is, he's fucking amazing, bro. I never seen no shit like that. I swear to God. But Cryme, please know, little Cryme is 13.
Right.
He's 2 years younger than Blaz, and he placed higher than Blaz at Blink Respawn.
Yeah. Yeah, he got revenge for Blaz. I think Crossovers who eliminated him, and then Blaz beat Crossover and got fourth place. If I'm remembering the bracket, I know Cryme beat Crossover. I'm just trying to remember the bracket correctly. So
yeah, bro. So those little dude, honestly, this is the only thing that sucks. I would have loved for Blaz. I'm super happy Kusanagi won. I think it worked out perfectly, but. If Blaz would have won, it would have been so dope because that would have brought in so many more kids to Street Fighter, I think.
Well,
that would have brought in
the story's still there. The story's still there, right?
That's true.
Like, and I think that Kakeru winning, I don't know. Blaz doesn't have to win too soon. I think there's so much more ahead that. What if after he wins at 15, then it's like, oh no, expectation. You know what I mean? Like, who knows, right? So I think hopefully he feels just amazing with the whole experience. I think there's so much more ahead for him, and he's in Esports World Cup, which I am definitely excited about because I think he will fuck people up again at Esports World Cup.
Hey, Brian, you know what's crazy, by the way, bro, with the way that Grand Finals played out in chat? I don't know if y'all thought about this, but so the big crazy thing at Capcom Cup was the crazy distribution of fucking $1 million for first place,
right?
100,000 for second place. This is the only player combination in finish where that ended up being a big problem. It's because it was a kid who got second place. It was the luckiest shit ever. A 15-year-old got second place. Whereas if it was like, and it was the underdog story, hey, that's nice, got 100K, that's worth fucking even more in Chile. Right. And then the adult with the wife got $1 million, and it feels okay. If a grown-ass man got second place, we would have had to come together as a community to save his life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I was wondering how Blaz would be feeling, and then after that, he's like smiling, happy, like, "Oh shucks, you got me!" Like the final hit for the fireball, the spike. He's like, "Oh dang, all right, good job, man." Hey,
man, if that motherfucker beat me right there, I would have. Oh,
yeah, Kakeru's crying on his knees, like, "I can't believe I won," and Blaz is like, "Hey man, nice job."
Bro, like. That was the only way for us not to have the most depressing set of all time.
It was already bad with Chris Wong, and I know you were forced to shove the mic in Chris Wong's face.
Oh my god,
that was rough. Like after Chris Wong lost in Capcom Cup 10, but he still got $300,000. In retrospect, that almost seems like amazing. I mean, it is amazing, but in the moment, when you just lost out on $700,000,
bro, you're not trying to talk, bro. I'm up there fucking interviewing his ass. He probably wanted to smack the shit out of me, brother.
Right.
I'm like, bro, I got no choice, and I think I had to interview him before the other joint. Like, that was crazy. I'm glad they didn't do that shit this time.
That was painful. I think in general, just like the production of the whole thing was way better. Like just the fact that it was in that stadium, like I think that's what was missing from the previous Capcom Cups as well, was the reverence of the stage and the crowd, and it being in Japan. I think Capcom Cup has to be in Japan from now on. I don't see.
Well, you know they're doing it there.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't see a future where without Capcom Cup being tied to some kind of exhibition, some kind of expo, like a convention like Evo. It's never going to fill out an entire stadium that size at another place on the planet, I don't think. I think it'd be very unlikely. At least definitely not America. Maybe in another country they could achieve that, maybe in like DR, Brazil or something. But Japan has the ability and the pool to have that stadium filled up with no other extracurricular activities. Like there's no convention there to draw the crowd. Even Evo, why is Evo so big? It's a convention that people go to. Right, that's what pulls in people. The tournament's leading the charge, but the reason why the stadium is filled is because it has so much more pool for people to go to. Capcom Cup without that, just a raw tournament, I don't think anywhere else on the planet would fill a stadium that size.
So Capcom Cup, I mean, Street Fighter is always going to be a lot bigger in Japan, That feeling was crazy, bro. 3 floors of fucking people, like that was absolute insanity. Everybody goddamn popping off, going crazy. But I will say, it's nice that it's growing in other places too. Like I do think the fact that Street Fighter League US sold out tickets in a lot smaller venue, but it was like 300 tickets, but it sold out quickly with no extracurriculars. Like we couldn't have done that.
I mean, 300 is it's doable, but that's not, how much is that stadium? That stadium is,
what's the name got fucking 10, 20. No, I'm not saying that. Japan biggest. I'm just saying it's nice that it's growing in other places.
Yeah.
But Japan,
I think that energy is so necessary. Like the fact that when you can cut to the crowd and feed off that, there is something psychological about seeing that. And I got to watch the Japanese stream, some of the VODs, and being able to hear that the crowd was way more mic'd up in the Japanese stream. Oh my God, they're losing their minds with every hit. There's something so powerful about just the raw essence of the crowd roaring and being able to perceive that as the viewer at home. I think that is super important to the spectacle of Capcom Cup, because like I said, it sucks that I don't know if I should say it sucks, but humans need that. Especially as you get further and further away from being the core audience of like the nerd who cares about, oh, that was +3 and they did the overhead, the raw human element of competition, the stakes at hand, the more things that you can use to make that visible and apparent and the stakes apparent to the audience, the better, right? And I think we were missing that in previous years for a while. I think that was visible in like 2017 Capcom Cup, for example. That was super visible. This was 2017, I think, was the last great Capcom Cup in terms of that experience. And then 2024, they finally brought it back with the stadium, because it was just, the energy was just unreal. Because 2017 they had the PlayStation experience as well, which that was a huge stage. I don't know if you went to that one when MenaRD won. Massive stage, and it was tied to the PlayStation experience convention. Yeah, 2017.
Oh no, I wasn't there. I wasn't there yet. No,
I had never seen a stage that big. Literally, I had never seen a stage that big in my life. The way it was set up was absurd, and it was at the PlayStation Experience convention. So there was a bunch of people already there, and they had the convention seating as well, right? And then 2018 went to the Luxor, the Esports Arena.
Yep. I was there for that one. That's the one where Chris T was on Team Beast and everything, and where that's when Gachi-kun and Itabashi, I want to say.
Yeah, Gachi-kun won that one, but it didn't feel like it was timing,
that
dude.
One was fun. That was good. I like that one.
I mean, it was fun to play there and be part of the LCQ. I mean,
they're different. I feel like it's different. It's like two entirely different products, is what I would say, when it's in Japan versus in the States. It's like I think they just have two completely different styles. You know what I mean? Two completely different cultures. But that crowd, brother. Oh man, when the motherfuckers was roaring, and then they did a good job even showing love to the foreigners too, bro. They weren't only showing love to the Japanese players, even though there was extra hype for them. That shit was phenomenal.
There's into it. It's big in Japan, man. Yeah. Like I know we had that debate about Street Fighter going to Japan. I want to reinforce that culturally Street Fighter is just killing it in Japan relative. But even then, at the end of the day, it's also, I saw some stats like Capcom Cup peaked near EVO numbers, and it's still only like top 10 most viewed esport event this year. Like we still have so much more to go relative to
that's
other
low
esports
key. I'm not gonna lie, that's exciting to me though. The fact that our shit is this fire already and we still got that much to go, that's shit. I think motherfucker, and we on the way. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, hell nah. With good reason though. With good reason.
Sure.
That shit. Bro, the product we just saw, that Capcom Cup, bro. I'm on the East Coast. It was like 6 a.m. Chat. I don't know where y'all, like if it was late for y'all too watching it. It was like 6 a.m. I was still up. I forgot I was sleepy by the time we got to grand finals, bro. Because the momentum was so goddamn good. That thing is just good TV in my opinion. Like that was good ass TV. I think you didn't even need to know Street Fighter. Like my girl ain't no Blaz, but she was rooting for him. Well,
there was a storyline there. Like if Blaz didn't pull that run, it wouldn't be good TV, right? It would be hard to capture that same magic. I think we had the perfect storyline for this being a very dramatic event, and I think Blaz not winning is still the best ending, right? This is the beginning of the saga, right? He can't win in the beginning. I feel like so. I do agree. It was perfect TV, but even then, it speaks to like the viewership. I still feel like a lot more events might end up being more Japanese audience focus. Street Fighter League, like it just they got a taste of it. Like, oh, this was successful.
You think more events might be Japanese focused? Japanese
just
audience
in
focused,
general, they're taking Capcom Cup back to Japan again. I just think in general they're starting to recognize Capcom is I think powerful the audience in Japan is.
Of course, I think they know that though. That Japan been selling out events over there for a long ass time. Anything they set, they shoot. They throw over there, they sell it out. But like, they still just put how many majors in America and in other countries outside of. They could have been like, yo, we'd about to put 90% of the majors in Japan. You know,
that's true.
Like, I think so. They clearly the numbers and metrics and everything is telling them that it's valuable to spread to other places and stuff. And maybe even these World Warrior choices they made might show that as well.
What's up with UK getting the super region? So for people listening to this who don't know, they announced the format. Oh, what, you're sipping the drink? We're getting quiet there. I don't even know if I should bring this up. This has already been buried, I feel like.
You talking about the East Coast? Oh, I wonder what you're talking about.
I'm talking about someone...
The controversy?
Some plants that might need to be watered. I don't know. Someone... No one's already been firing shots left, right, and center. I feel like it was already buried. But there seems to be a weird... like. Okay, let me just start this over to make it clear for people listening who don't know. They announced the CPT format, right? So they announced that they're going to be cutting back on super regions for the most part. Super regions was where you got 2 people qualifying out of a region for World Warriors. That way they can add more. They added a point system to the CPT tour for 6 players to qualify via points earned over the 8 events. And they had to cut, something from somewhere to make room for that in 48 players. So all the super regions are gone except for Japan, China, Asia East, and then UK and Ireland, which that is fucking random.
Hold up. So what are the ones outside of UK and Ireland? Japan,
China, Asia East, which kind of makes sense to me. They like, if I were to decide right now of like 6 regions or something, what would I pick to have a super region? That I would put all 3 of those on there. But UK and Ireland would be lower on my list than US East or, games.
Bro,
I'm just saying, like, it'd be lower.
I'm so happy they brought points back.
Yeah.
The US East not having a super premiere though hurts my soul. Bro, who has to fight each other over there?
Yeah, it's a lot.
But to me that concept is not like, you can't tell me like, oh, they got X amount of premieres in America. Bro, if it's a premiere, people are going to be here from it don't matter. Like, the best players from around the world are going to pull up regardless.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Not everyone, but a lot.
Most of them.
If they can afford to go, I mean, isn't that your whole ethos as well, right? I mean, like we saw Blaz. Blaz probably won't. Oh, now he can.
But that was my ethos.
Now he's on the accelerated program to first class to these tournaments.
He got that bag.
But I'm saying before that, right? Like there is, to be fair to people from these regions, right? There are super good players that can't go to these tournaments. But I also like to. I hear that argument a lot, and I agree with it. But also, I do want to be clear. Japan was in a tough spot, dude. Japan. I don't care what anyone says. Japan is. Take the top 40 players on the planet. Half of them might be from Japan. At any point, you know what I mean? Just like the density of talent there is absurd. Now, at any point in time, the best player is probably not Japanese. Like we've seen plenty periods of time where the best player on the planet is not Japanese. That's normal. The top dogs are from around the world, the very, very top. But in terms of density, Japan was getting the worst end of this deal by far, right? Like that to me is just an objective truth.
US East is the second objectively.
Right. But even then, it's different because US East had such more heavy top hitters that were being impacted, where Japan had like 100 potential Capcom Cup qualifiers. Yeah. None of them necessarily that much above the other than like maybe the top 20, but there were still like 60 other players you could be like, oh, maybe if they did really well, they could get in, right? There's just so many strong players in Japan that are on that potentially on that caliber at any point in time. So it's a weird
now I
system.
Wonder. How do you feel about the point system in general, though? And how is everybody feeling about that? Like chat and Brian,
I like it. It's not perfect, but I like it.
It's fire that they Yeah, I think it's fire that they brought that shit back, bro.
Right.
Bro, we can't have motherfuckers traveling, spending all this paper just to get nothing in return.
It makes no sense.
Give me some goddamn points if I cooked up, bro. Yeah, people getting second place and getting nothing in return. And I think from a viewership perspective,
we need that.
It's going to add a lot for us, too. It's going to be way more exciting to know, oh, he needs to get at least 5th place at this tournament, or he need, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's great.
And it just encourages players to travel who can, right? Like, the fact that the world was becoming more and more insular was what we were seeing. And even Daigo was talking about that. He was making an effort to go. I don't think Daigo was like, I'm probably going to win. I don't think he was even of that confidence of like, yeah, I'm probably going to win this tournament. He was just going to like support the scenes and make an
love.
Effort. Yeah, he show love. Yeah, he made some comments about how he understands why they're doing World Warrior and it's good to build up scenes from around the world, but he said he made an effort to show support for going through these events. He's not saying anything critical really, but with Japanese culture and the way he phrases things, I would advise there's a specific speech he gave about it where you can kind of get some perspective of like he's going to these tournaments because he's concerned about their longevity. Literally, because people aren't going anymore because, especially from Japan, Japanese yen is weak right now. So there's economic pressure and there's very little incentive to go based on the format. And he's like, well, I can afford to go. And he knows this pool that he brings, at least it like helps support the tournaments and maybe he gets people interested.
Now they will actually travel. Now they'll actually go.
I'm curious. I'm hoping. I think
they're going to pull up.
But I wonder to what degree. I don't think it'll be like pre-COVID.
I think it'll be a lot closer to that than what it is right now because right now the system was already so good. The infrastructure is so good in Japan. They're already making such bank over there by themselves. I'm not about to travel around across the world and I got to get 1st place to get anything out of it. Whereas now if they can get 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I mean, if XYZ, I think they'll actually pull up a lot more. By the way though, Brian, and I know if I'm switching the topic too quick, then let me know because I seen that in the comment section last time. But as far as back to Cup, because I'm not done talking about that shit. What we saying about like my man's like what I guess we can even look group to group.
You want to go through
I got it pulled up. Let's look group to group as far as what happened, bro. Yeah, hold up. Let me pull this shit up.
Group A. I think we all called that wrong. I mean, I think for the most part we also said Punk Phenom or Punk Itazan. So that was a wash.
Bro, Takamura, to be honest.
It's not surprising.
At some point, no, it's not. And we need to speak on him a bit differently. We show him respect, but I feel like we only talk about him as the super genius lab god. But not necessarily like we expect him to have certain results. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, honestly, I don't remember the exact score of Punk, but I think they even might have played the mirror match. Or did he use Ken? I think they played the Kami mirror. No,
against Phenom. Phenom played the Kami mirror and beat Punk.
You're right.
Yeah, no, Takamura, he played only Ken this whole tournament. And it was a crazy set versus Punk. Punk did win that one, but it was close. And if he had lost that set to Takamura, he was out. You know what I mean? Like he had one more shot to make it through with the next set, but if Takamura had beaten him, it was over. So Takamura only lost to Punk, I think. I think he was 4-1 at that
Punk situation, bro. That alone, I mean, as far as Group A, Punk not making it in, not even making it out of the group. I don't know how y'all have it. For me, it's too hard to, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I think it's too hard to call who's the best player in the world right now after what we just saw. But Punk is at least in the conversation. He's definitely stronger than not making out of the group.
Right.
But I think the pressure, not that he doesn't handle pressure well, because he just won Evo. So Punk, I don't need no goddamn angry team. I fuck with you. I got it. And you won, you the champ. But I do think I think this is just pressure, bro. Because skill wise, it's not skill wise. Punk not losing this, in my opinion. I think it's pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I think he's just inconsistent with the pressure. That's all it is. I think when he's on, he's on, and if he's not on, he's not on. It's just it happens. Yeah. And then, but I mean, shout out to Salvatore. He definitely did his thing, and he was another one I was really looking out for because he qualified out of the region, the South America East region, right? And so after I was setting it up with Blaz, I didn't see too many matches with Salvatore leading up to that. But then when I saw that he qualified and it wasn't like Cryme or Dookie or those were the other names I was thinking of like to get out of there. I was like, he must be fucking nice. Like that region established itself to me over the course of the season.
To the point where you're going to respect whoever makes it out of that.
By name, which is not, it's not been the case. I'd have to like double check the player's level to like, in the past. I just think in general, this whole Capcom Cup, the world really turned up. Like I was so much happier overall with the level of play. And I think that's just like time too. Like the people finally caught up.
I'm so glad you said that. I agree. I do think people are like, the world is way stronger at Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, people are putting in all kind of time with this stuff. And this level up never happens without World Warrior. World Warrior is the number one reason of everything. The number one reason that the world is better at Street Fighter, because they wouldn't even be training that hard at XYZ, and it wouldn't be as many people training as hard and as many entrants and people to train with if not for knowing we have World Warrior to train for every year. So that's why we're seeing everybody so much stronger now. So World Warrior is working.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I hope we can capitalize on that and get them offline at some point. That's my big thing with this. Is like, I love what the World Warrior's done for the individual competitors, but and I see people like, I have a reputation now. For some people think I hate World Warrior and I don't want people to ever have opportunities, which I that drives me fucking nuts, considering all the work I try to put into on my platform to highlight people.
Hell no.
That drives me. Yes. I'm a little hurt when I see that, to be quite honest, considering how much I've done on my own spare time to try to make an effort for the Western world who's not familiar with these players to show them off.
You want a good product even for them.
I want these players to be visible in some kind of way. And maybe like the way it works right now, if we only had World Warrior where you finish your regional finals and it's all faceless offline tournaments and that's it, and then they go to Capcom Cup and they potentially don't do good, that fucking sucks for everybody involved. The player gets disrespected. It's just bad. It's just bad optics, right? But if you maybe had more inter-season opportunities, like, oh, maybe you're the top point earner halfway through, we fly you out to an offline qualifier, like something. I don't know. I don't have a perfect system, but maybe you can start bringing people into tournaments if they get to some point through the World Warrior program, or have some kind of halfway season point where you have players play it out for seeding, something to bridge the gap, to start seeing their face and getting familiar with their level and be like, oh, look, this guy from this region took this set on this guy from this region. Now you have a reference point for people across the globe who never meet with each other. And now you know, oh, once he shows up to this group, yeah, I kind of have a feel for where he's at in the world. Because otherwise, it's great that when they turned up this Capcom Cup, but it could have been horrible. It could have been like last year where it was 0-5 all over the place.
No, that never happened at Capcom Cup.
Last year?
I don't want to spend time. I don't want to spend time going back, but no, I can show you tweets to prove it.
There was 1-4s everywhere. It was bad.
Bro, at Capcom Cup, the last 2 years, the World Warrior guys that were unknown did good, because I remember I was talking shit all on Twitter about it. And I specifically remember for the last 2 years that happened. They did good. I'm not saying they made it this far.
They did,
but
a lot of them did good. But it was better. It was better this year.
They showed
it was better this year.
They showed up for themselves.
I think the stats are, it's objectively better. From the World Warriors, from the regions who generally did not have much offline presence, I think objectively did better this year. I don't think there's any.
The only rough thing I feel on, which I know I'm not. I feel like I'm not even allowed to speak on it because people are just gonna, like, the homies even be calling me a fucking Capcom employee and shit, even though I'm not. But in the end of the day, like, I feel like there's so much expected of them, bro. Like, what can you, like, what's the answer to some of this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, how easy is it to just make, so you're gonna make more offline tournaments out of thin air and pay money
they exist
for all of the players to travel there?
No, the reality is tough, but there are some tournaments that exist that are big in these regions. There's majors in Chile, there's majors in Brazil. There are tournaments that exist.
Oh, you said just work with stuff that's already there.
Yeah,
but you get what I'm saying. You still, if you're gonna make it an official Capcom production, you need to pay for.
There's a minimum standard. Yeah.
There's a minimum standard which costs money, is all I'm saying.
No,
like,
it's not easy. It's not easy. That's why, like, I'm.
But I feel
not too critical. But yeah, everything. There's a pie in the sky ideal reality, which it's not easy to get there. And so, in some ways, this format to many is a step back, right? Like, a lot of people are like pissed that they lost their super region status, and like, I definitely empathize with that.
This format is a step back.
Oh yeah. Go talk to someone from Chile right now.
Oh, because they lost the spot.
Oh yeah. You don't think I'm getting tagged left, right, and center from people pissed at me?
Well,
I'm
that's
telling
because
you.
you hate different. That's because you hate different countries.
Oh yeah,
that's why.
of
And
course.
you think the little guy should stay down.
Of course,
bro.
That's always what I've been saying. That's always what I've been saying.
Brian F lost you guys your spot. Brian F lost you guys. He got a big platform.
Listen, this is gonna go. There's gonna be something lost in translation, and this humor is not gonna come across well, man. You're gonna get me.
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm trolling.
Listen, we're gonna have that CPT event in Chile, and I try to roll up. That's not gonna end well, man. Come on.
Nah, bro. Nah, hell no. Brian got y'all goddamn back. He just want a point system too. He didn't know that they was gonna goddamn do it like this shit. Like, but I understand. Like they lost access to Capcom Cup or 50%, right? So I can understand definitely being upset about that. That makes sense to me. So I just hope they can build it up in some way. Like but to be fair, as far as making a better Capcom Cup overall, I feel like this makes sense. Like this helps balance wise, in my opinion. I empathize though with the regions that's losing a spot. That fucking sucks.
Right.
But you still are getting we still get representation from these places, which is a beautiful thing. But now you're getting even more offline qualifiers, which is fucking awesome as far as making a better show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just makes for a better show. And not just a better show, it makes a better season. And it makes a better overall season.
What I've noticed is we've gotten things so much more consolidated. Evo and Capcom Cup, I think, are thriving, but everything in between is hurting, which has been my major concern. The season itself, in terms of spectating, has been it's objectively worse. And as a spectator, you have far less opportunities to see this kind of action, and the events themselves mean a little bit less overall, considering there's no interconnection between them and less players are incentivized to travel to them, which hurts the overall attendance rate and the level of competition.
You know what? And it really, I think it's going to be way more. Before it was like, okay, we might as well just go to fucking grand finals. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all we fucking want to see. And at the end of the day, all this shit technically don't even fucking matter. Now it actually matters the whole way through. And before we had that horrible issue of like, what was it? Like if somebody already qualified, but they're in grand finals winner side. Now grand finals don't even matter, and we only care about losers finals. Right, which happened at Kings of the World, right? Yeah. It happened in multiple tournaments, right? Even like the Super Premier, right? You only care about grand finals winner side is already decided. Then losers finals is actually the grand finals. Like when Nephew, he went up against Xian, I think, right? Once he got to fight Shuto, like it was just for pride, which does matter a little, but it's not the same. It's already deflating the stakes for the audience. Yeah. So honestly, Brian. Oh, and I know we still on Group A, but I just want to throw in there too. I really think that like Street Fighter is in an amazing place because of the point system now. Because we're coming off of a fucking super classic Capcom Cup. Classic. I think we have a champion who is going to fucking stay playing. And not playing retire. Today.
You know, he's already been streaming. I was watching him this morning. He's already on ranked. He was playing JP, Akuma.
Yes, thank God.
He's literally back on the grind.
That's so much for the scene. That does so much for us.
He was reviewing Blaz's replays in the replay viewer. He was playing Ryu himself. He's immediately on
Uzura. He coming back.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you guys don't know, Kakeru used to be Uzura. He was the original Evo at the tail end of Street Fighter V, in case you don't know. Godlike Ryu at Red Bull Kumite. I got to play him back in the day.
Him being that, I feel like us having him does so much for the whole scene now. Like, I feel like I just saw, for me personally, for RobTV, I saw my first Street Fighter millionaire last week. Me personally, I don't count the Uma one for me because I didn't get to have the emotion of seeing somebody that is my homie, somebody that I've been around. And when I say my homie, I don't mean like tight like me and Brian. Just, I consider everybody in the scene my goddamn homie if you've been around this motherfucker for long enough. Like, you my goddamn dog. So Kakeru is like, you know, one of us. You know what I'm saying? And he fucking won $1 million, bro. I love that shit, man. Like,
yeah, it's just good to have someone you know is going to like stick around. You know, I feel bad for the Uma example because he's free to do whatever he wants, but it does hurt. It hurts, to be honest, because we want to see the stakes of it. That's just me.
I feel like we got robbed as a scene. We worked hard to build this shit up to the point where the shit, somebody can get $1 million And out of everybody who could have won it, he won fair and square. So God bless him. I'm not trying to shit on you, buddy. That's okay. You won $1 million. You rich. You don't give a fuck what I'm saying. So in the end of the day, we worked that hard just for a motherfucker to just take it and leave.
Well, he does do things like streaming, and he does do some coaching. So it's not like he's totally removed. He has his own online presence. So I just want to be fair to Uma. It's not visible to us in the West. So he's doing some things, right? I think he's been coaching some VTubers, some Street Fighter stuff. I think that actually did happen, but I'm not misremembering it. Like, so
I wonder
he's found a way to bridge the passions.
I wonder what those intentions. What are those intentions are? What his intentions are.
He's just bridging his passions here, man. I don't know. So I think he still contributed in some ways, but yes, it's a bit different when you know it's a player that's invested and wants to continue to compete. It's definitely different, and it like. We think of like a Daigo. Like the reason why the Daigo means so much is not just because he was so dominant in his prime and continued to be one of the best in the world for so long. It's because he continues to be that, right? Like the will to keep winning, right? That is what makes it so great. Winning once and then doing nothing, it's great, but continuing to try and continuing to improve yourself, that constant testing yourself and constant innovation and reforming yourself and improving, that's what makes someone legendary. So I feel like there's a spirit of that in Kakeru. Like you immediately see it.
I agree
immediately.
So okay, just a real quick side thing as for I see Itabashi, of course he went 2 and 3, but did you see that video? Did y'all see that video about Itabashi? Like
his
the
interview
Evo one
about Itazan, or his interview about Nemo?
No, he was talking about like how he lives life and like the whole why he plays a grappler. Like he believes in gambling in life. Like he believes in high risk, high reward, and that's how he lives his whole life, even right now. So that's why he plays. That's how he lives, and that's why he plays Zangief.
Oh, we need
that shit is crazy.
I didn't know he would get philosophical like that with it. We need the grappler anime. That sounds. What is the gambling anime? There's like a whole. There's our whole degenerate gambling anime. Like the point of life is gambling. It gets pretty messed up. There's a pretty famous anime where he keeps like raising the stakes and gambling like his whole life away. Kaji.
They said it's called Kaji.
Yeah.
Kaiji.
I've been told some of the stakes and some of the plot points for that anime. It's absurd. Like, and like there's like screenshots from the manga. It's like just keep gambling. like it's like his whole mantra is like just keep gambling. It's pretty good, but it's meant to be messed up.
That sounds fire. That's so
maybe that's where Itazan was inspired by, but that's nuts. I didn't think he would take it to a philosophical level.
Yeah, like even like his probably career choices and everything. You know what I mean? Like that's cool as hell.
Right.
All right,
no,
bro,
I mean, being a Street Fighter player is a gamble.
Group motherfucking B, brother. You know what the fuck I want to talk about, Brian F? Huh? You know who I want to talk about? No, the goddamn Prodigy. You don't like him, but it is what it is. That little motherfucker going up there stand on business. Now he needs to learn how to pop off. He need to learn how to pop off. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to y'all. That should be awkward sometimes. That should be creative sometimes. No, you gotta fucking come on, brother. You talk about hood, HOOD. Nigga, in the hood, we smoother with that shit, nigga. You gotta goddamn get a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? That should be a little, what the fuck you doing?
No, but
you're winning, kid.
But have you considered Have you considered that he has to give shout outs to Reggie, shout outs to Quincy, shout outs to
that's the blackest shit I ever seen. That's the blackest shit I ever seen.
I over the course of this season in Capcom Cup, I've begun to learn his whole crew by name. Like I'm predicting those are the real names: Reggie, Quincy.
Shout out my boy Uso. Yeah.
Who else is in there? There's a handful. There's a few other in there. I feel like I've known them. I've grown with this crew to understand Noah and his journey.
Shit in the fucking chat. I told you about that shit. Oh my god, he'll put fucking stupid ass gang shit in chat. Stop it.
Slat. Shout out to Slat. Yeah, shout him out. He cooked. Cooked in groups.
Oh, I thought he was saying Slat as in. Okay, never mind. Brian, I think you might be confused.
Oh, I hope not. What is Noah making me say?
No comment. Nothing. No comment. Brian, you initiated now. You initiated, Brian. Damn, that's it. Remember we did that freestyle back in the day?
No, I can't go to Chile, and now I can't go to LA. Like,
yeah,
this podcast is taking me down, man. I'm just trying to talk Street Fighter,
bro. Okay, not because Noah's here. We can be completely honest. Chat and everybody here. Oh, you are talking about Slat. Okay, Noah. But chat, Brian, everybody. Where do we have Noah in America? Is he number 2? Is he number 1? Is he top 5?
Why are you trying to start this? Why are you trying to start this?
I want to know your opinion. No, I'm not. I
He's
really
one of the
think that he
best.
is now.
I think
No.
player,
Shut up. Don't say who is one of the best. I didn't say that. I said numerically, because before I
ain't
had
doing no
number 2,
numerical. Well, if I had to do numerical, can I do it? Let me think. Hold on.
I
If it
had
gets too
Kev number
ambiguous.
2, but now I got Noah number 2.
You had who number 2?
I had Kev number 2, even though he was beating Kev, because I feel like Kev is more consistent and just stronger. But at this point, I can't. That's disrespectful. Like he's done too much.
Kev was so close to making this happen too, because he was 1 round away from, like, he was almost about to beat Kakeru in that group. You know, he was so close to making.
Oh man, I know
history happen for himself. Yeah,
Chat,
but
everybody who's saying 3, who y'all got number 2? If y'all don't got Noah number 2.
You know, for
now,
Noah,
go
his argument he used to always make is like, oh, results wise, I'm the best. Now I know Noah's in the chat. The problem I've had with the format, the way things work, Noah has won tournaments, amazing tournaments against amazing competition. However, so many players don't show up to these tournaments because the formats don't incentivize people to show up. So like the players that when he wins, like you don't have Punk often there, you don't have like Nuckledu often there. Like there's players where, and not to discredit his wins, but it then becomes hard, at least in this stupid ambiguity, because people are at home. Yeah. To Noah's credit, though, I want to be absolutely clear. He's the one actually going to every tournament and trying to show up and play, which I much prefer. No. I much prefer that. But not
just that though, Brian. This is why I got Noah number 2. And if anything, Noah my little guy.
No, he won when he's done the best.
But Kev is my goddamn, like, real life, like one of my best friends in my life. And I'm even having to say this little dude number 2 off of results.
He's been beating Kev consistently.
Beating Kev consistently. Won Premier. The motherfucker went to EWC, qualified for EWC in a hard ass tournament in France.
And got 9th.
Beat godlike players qualified in France. And then at EWC, he's the highest place in American at EWC. Then he go to Capcom Cup. Then he win 2 majors, 1 Premier, 1 regular. And then he go to Capcom Cup, and he's the highest place in American, but not like even highest place in 16th place. Nah. He got fucking 5th place at Capcom Cup.
That's crazy.
Brother, it's over. Yeah. I don't see the logic in this debate. There is no more debate. Like, it's not even, at that point, it's like,
well, I just think it's so funny.
Let me add a caveat, Brian. Oh, go ahead.
I just love when Noah wins because it's so funny seeing so many people try to grapple in their mind. Like, no, how is he? Like to me,
because he doesn't. He play ugly as fuck.
But I don't even think it's ugly. I've grown to really appreciate when Noah plays. It's not ugly. It's not ugly. It's just it's this constant freight train of momentum, but you can see the pattern there. And I do think he gets like shut down when he runs into certain players like a Kakeru Blaz, right? I've seen AngryBird do a similar thing to him, right? It's like, I think there's some players who are the top level echelon where they just pick that apart immediately and it's just not working versus them. But for everybody else on the planet, I think Noah has a really good shot of beating them frequently in high stakes moments. And then like so many people, when they watch him play, I feel like there's a deep psychological reason for it. It's because Noah on the surface level reminds them of that random dude in ranked who played like ass, but for some reason he beat you free, and maybe he even like one and done you and quit, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's such a scrub. You know what I mean? Like that trauma that occurred from that ass beating in ranked, people see Noah and it has on the surface that same style, and they go, that's that guy. They're seeing their demons in Noah's gameplay.
And it's also the fucking people look at Noah as like a Street Fighter 6 product. Like they feel like they think he's the embodiment of
all the flaws
everything wrong
they
with
see
Street
with the
Fighter
game.
6. They think he's the embodiment of it. So if you don't like Street Fighter 6, then Noah's success extra piss you off. But I want to add this, Brian. In my opinion, if you ask me who's my top 5 in America, chat, listen to this. Tell me if I'm tripping. As my top 5 in America in a regular low stakes tournament, and Noah might not even be in my fucking top 5. Make it TNS or some shit like that. I don't got Noah. If we talking about just raw casuals or fucking something like that, I'm gonna have like 5 people. I'm gonna have JB over Noah. I'm gonna have Nuckledu over Noah. I'm gonna have Kev over Noah. I'm gonna have all these people over Noah. Now put it when it matters the fuck most. That nigga might be number 1 right now, but Punk won Evo, so I can't say that. But low key, I kind of, when it matters the most,
yeah, I agree.
that nigga is better than them. He better than all them. Facts. Am I tripping, chat?
I think you're statistically correct.
His style and his personality, his style and his mentality is his superpower is not for casuals. Bro, you know what it is, Brian? I know exactly what it is. It's the same reason why grappler players at Capcom Cup, at least for a lot of years, were always doing great. Because it's so scary to fight that style for $1 million, $250,000, or the biggest money.
They're used to gambling. They're used to getting on a plane and flying 14 hours across the planet to play first to two on a coin flip.
Yes. So now you playing Noah, you in his domain expansion, you in the gray. And then now you playing him for all that motherfucking money. Noah don't give a fuck about none of that. He don't even know he's supposed to be scared. I talked to Noah backstage when he had to play in the big tournament or something like that. Bro, he talking crazy about everybody. Like in-game. He like, yeah, you know, these niggas scared of these lights. I'm from the hood. I got my house raided. All this time, he niggas start telling me all these random ass stories that don't got shit to do with Street Fighter. He's like, yeah, nigga, I got my house raided. I ain't worried about this fucking Street Fighter shit. I'm about to beat his ass. Then it worked. Swear to God. My little homie be cooking the motherfuckers.
Oh my God. He got top 8 at Capcom Cup. No. He got top 8 at Capcom Cup winner's side, and then in his socks ran around arms up the whole stage in Japan. and the whole audience is like golf clapping, like, yay! No one's there in his socks. Takamura's in shambles, like, I can't fucking believe I just lost this to Noah, the Prodigy. And then Noah's running around.
Oh, bro.
Everyone's there, like, yeah. You saw the front row audience? They're like, wow.
Yes.
Like,
yes. And then he went over there, and then he'll go clapping people's hands and shit. He'll take all day, too. He don't give a fuck about the production.
He would have gone up and down the aisles. He would have climbed that entire stadium. Yeah.
He gonna have this fucking moment out there.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think statistically, he's just been doing better in these big events compared to everyone. I definitely agree with your assessment. It's like, it's so hard to call who's best because I think stakes, context, and format matter so much. But our formats right now for the biggest prize tournaments besides Evo, which I would still, let me give Noah some fuel. I would still bet on like a Punk, a Do, whatever at an Evo. I think that's a different type of format. A marathon format is different. But in a group stage format and to a condensed top 16, I agree with feel like Noah, that's his domain.
His style might be too fucking volatile to win a fucking 7,000 man tournament right now.
I think there's something so different about a marathon like Evo. And that's where I think you see players like Punk shine better. And even like a Blaz. I can see Blaz. I don't see any flaws.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see any flaws when I look at Blaz.
Bro, you know, honestly, Brian, I feel like if not for what's the name for Blaz, I think Noah would have had a decent chance to get second place, to be honest.
Second, really? Hold on. You're thinking that Noah was going to beat, after Blaz, it was AngryBird and Leshar. I think AngryBird is the road stop for Noah. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
No. That's fair. I don't know. You're right. That's fair. I can't.
AngryBird picked apart Noah at his Esports World Cup qualifier. Was it the mix-up in France? AngryBird picked him apart, like kind of like how Punk does. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain type of play style.
When AngryBird did that, it was after Noah already qualified.
True,
if I remember correctly.
He already had the pop off. He beat Leshar.
Yes,
he beat Leshar to do that. Leshar.
Noah beat Leshar to do that?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Noah beat Leshar to qualify for Esports World Cup. And then
Okay, yeah. He could have got second. I'm not saying he would have, but he had a good chance.
No, but I think AngryBird is more stable than Leshar. I think Leshar is showing he's human. I think Leshar is technical skill wise. I still put Leshar potentially top 1. But I think that's what he's lacking. If I had to guess.
Can we Okay, shit, bro. That's a pretty good conversation from Capcom Cup, bro. Because we got to keep going on the group.
Okay. But Group A, we were fucking wrong.
Group C.
Group B, you called it, Noah. Group C, you guys were fucking wrong. I don't know how neither of you talked about Kakeru this. I feel like I was losing my mind. Chat, listen. All through the group draw stream, we did the podcast after as well with Ringe and Yipes. Then doing this stream with iDom. The whole time I kept just saying Kakeru. I feel like no one was lit. Like, what planet was everybody on this whole season? I don't understand. Like, this is such an easy objective call because Kakeru was just winning everything in Japan. Well, not everything. I'm exaggerating, but he was winning the most out of everybody in Japan the entire season.
Well, excuse me for not knowing that JP was still top 1 broken as fuck.
Oh, that's what it is.
After the nerfs.
Right.
Excuse me for not knowing that, Brian. No, but I had Kev. But I had Kakeru losers. iDom didn't have Kakeru make out the group at all.
That's crazy.
But I did not put the same level of respect that you put. To be fair, I'm biased, allegedly. So,
I've heard rumors.
To be fair, the only person that I had him not making it out on top of was my goddamn best friend, bro.
Right.
Respectfully.
Right.
Respectfully.
And I think iDom...
Niggas gonna be biased.
I wonder if iDom was being a little biased too. But Dual Kevin could have done it. These groups are fucking tough. But still, like, I went numbers on that one. Kakeru just, Topanga League and then World Warrior Japan. It's just... And he did it with so many characters. He did it with Bison, he did it with Akuma, and then he did it with the JP. So at that point, I'm like, the dude's meta-proof. It doesn't matter. And then he got number 1 rank with Mai right away. He was doing it with Ryu in Street Fighter V. Like, he's proved to me a good JP player. They're not necessarily meta-proof. You know what I mean? Like, case in point here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not necessarily meta-proof. But Kakeru quickly proved. That's what I was wondering after that second Topanga League. I was like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter what character it is. He's just of that caliber. Even when doing it with a character like JP, I think a lot of JP players are. They're JP specialists, right? Like, that's their guy.
And Kakeru is the best. And he is the definition. He the definition of motherfucking when that bag on the line.
Gamers aid.
He more of that than Noah. That motherfucker is when that bag on the line. Bro,
how much money now? 1.4 million minimum. I mean, he's got a lot more.
Yes, 1.4 something million, bro. Bro, when he won that Gamers 8, that was the highest paying Street Fighter tournament of all time at that point. Y'all got to remember that. He won it when it was the most money somebody ever won, and then he wins this.
Approximate winnings, 1,457,657. Approximate. Without sponsorships, without Street Fighter League, whatever, behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Like, without whatever other extracurriculars he has going on. It's crazy, because, like, he could win so many more tournaments, and it'll just be a rounding error compared to how much income he's made now from these.
You know the funny thing? I want to see how if it affects his play at all. I don't think it will. But just for some people, it could be the silk pajamas issue, where you so successful now that, like, you know what I mean? Right. You don't have that same. It's hard to force that sense of urgency. That it's hard to fake it. Right. When you already just rich as hell already. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, he was immediately this morning. This morning he was already streaming, and not like a joke stream. He did one celebration stream the day before, just chatting, whatever. And then today he was immediately playing, and not like fucking around, like playing his characters.
His dead ass.
Like, playing his characters, doing VOD review, doing replay review of Blaz, trying out Ryu, learning. You know what I mean?
Keep it a buck. If you won that $1 million, bro, keep it a buck. You doing VOD reviews and shit the next day?
No. I do a stream though.
I do a stream.
I'm doing a stream. I'm gonna be
talking to everybody.
I'm gonna be there. Yes, Silk Road, baby. Yeah, the champagne bottle. I'm not gonna be able to wake up the next morning. Like that's gonna be the difference.
If you won $1 million, you better motherfucking give me some goddamn Brian. The fuck you talking about?
I can spare a few.
That's crazy. But yeah, I think so since he's doing that, I think he's gonna keep beating ass. But what about the people who didn't make it out of the group, or who the people outside of Kakeru in general?
Zangief Bellotto had a good run. Zangief Bellotto almost got out.
Dog.
Jobby M, dude. Jobby M beat Tokido. That's a big one. He proved it,
bro. Jobby validated. He validated his win.
It's not a fluke. Yeah, that was big. Him winning that over Tokido. And then he almost got out. I was really impressed by Jobby M. He made me want to play some more Terry. And there we go. You were like, Jobby M's not playing no fucking Terry the whole time. And I'm like, he's playing Terry. Literally, the only thing I had seen from Jobby M leading up to Capcom Cup was he went on Twitter and someone was like, oh, I don't know how to do X, Y, or Z. And then JaBM's like, what character do you do it with? Maybe I can help. And he's like, oh, I play Ryu. And he's like, sorry, I can't help. I only play Terry. And like the guy said, I played Ryu in the first post. And so JaBM replied to a random Ryu player. And was like, sorry, I can't help you. I play Terry. And they're like, why the fuck did you reply? So the only thing I knew about JaBM going into this was that I only play Terry.
Bro, I refuse to believe it. I had refused to believe it, and I was goddamn wrong. And he cooked up with that shit too.
He was doing stuff that I did not know you could do. Like the fact, like when he was so prepped in that Ken matchup, because I think Mark the Shark, if I'm not mistaken, like the next competition for him in South Africa right now.
Oh, you remember Mark the Shark?
Yeah, and I think he mentioned it in the interview as well. He plays Ken, if I'm not mistaken. He was using that level 1 to punish everything. All the Jinrais, because I think Jinrai, some of the strengths are -7 on block potentially, and then if you're in range, which that level 1 has half screen range almost, you get an immediate punish. So he was doing level 1 on every string that Tokido was doing. So I feel like Tokido wasn't ready for the Terry matchup. He kept doing unsafe block strings into Jinrai, and I didn't know you could do that effect. Like I sort of knew. I knew you can use level 1 to punish some things, but he did that every single time, and I was like, dude, holy shit, he is so ready for this. And he beat the crap out of Tokido. That was free.
You know, I think it's fair to say that's Tokido Demon, in my opinion.
Losing the first of 5 in South Africa, round 1.
First of 5, and then Capcom Cup.
He almost
these are big ass.
And Tokido had to come clutch. He had to beat Kakeru, which he did, and then he had to beat Hannibal 2-0. You know, Hannibal almost fucked up Tokido's future with Guile. Do you remember the match? What happened?
Oh, see, I don't even remember.
Tokido's last match, and he had to win 2-0. It came down to a game differential between Zangief, Pilato, and all of them. And you know what I mean? It was like a down to the wire games. Hannibal gets beat in the Ken mirror, and then he goes to Guile. And you know, that's what he does at Capcom Cup. It's like, oh, my Capcom Cup's over. Let me just fuck around.
When he went to, was it Manon last time?
He did Manon, and that was the first game he won, was when he swapped to Manon. He finally won a set. Yeah. I'm not going to say I know for sure he's fucking around. Maybe that was what he truly thought was his best option there. But he switches to Guile. He plays Guile with no sonic booms. I'm telling you, he did not keep charge at all. And he almost beat Tokido 2 rounds straight. Tokido had to make a clutch comeback on Hannibal's Guile to not get eliminated from Capcom Cup. And he barely won the round. It was down to the wire. Hannibal did like a wake up level 1 on his fireball, and Tokido had a pixel, and he had to like barely survive, and then he won the game in the set 2-0. But he literally almost got eliminated right there by Hannibal with Guile.
Wow.
That's how close it was.
So who would have got in instead?
Zangief Pilato. Because they would have had a 0 game differential each, and Zangief Pilato beat Tokido in the head-to-head. So Zangief Pilato, if Hannibal had won with Guile 1 game, Zangief Pilato would be in top 16 instead.
That would have been, wow. You know, we had to, you know, that was, I probably didn't even see that match because, you know, they were so late. Sometimes you will go to sleep before it's done, and you just skimming through the group. I didn't even know that. That's
Group C
crazy.
Was crazy because JaBM and Zangief Pilato. Tokido had to like really come clutch the final day to make it happen. And then JaBM, when Kakeru, he dropped the level 3. Did you see that? JaBM.
Oh my God! Yes, no, I saw that live. I think I did see that live.
He could have backthrown him.
Yes, I did. Yes, bro. He was looking down, like he had put his hands on his head. He thought it was over. Bro, that is true pain.
Yeah.
Because if he wins that, he's in, right? Yeah, for sure.
He was still down in the set. He lost 0-2, but like he could have made a comeback.
But I'm saying if he win that
he was
set,
burned out. Yeah, he was burned out, and he had no super meter. So he could have just backthrown the punish on the level 3 whiff, and then potentially just beat the shit out of him. And if he made that comeback, if he beat Kakeru, he was in Capcom Cup. Or in top 16, rather.
Damn, bro. I don't think I've ever lost like that. Have you ever lost like that? I don't think I have. Like the whole stand-up
No,
early?
I that's my number 1 pet peeve. And whenever I'm restreaming these tournaments, I'm always talking shit to the players. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You drive me nuts when they do that. When they stand up, even when the super meter is, they land at level 3 and they start popping off. I'm like, sometimes it's a little ambiguous. Like, we've seen it.
Did you see Xian in World Finals and World Cup Street Fighter League World Finals? He literally lands a super to finish, because you know Xian was beating everybody.
Yeah, he was cooking.
And he lands a super to knock somebody out. The guys come over to pop off with him, and he like gives them the
and
stays there first to make sure it kills.
Good.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
There we go. I've seen too many players fuck around before the KO pops up, and then they're like shook. It's happened. And the other thing that drives me nuts is they activate a level 3. They grab the water. They're like struggling to get the bottle cap off the bottle, and they're struggling.
It's a mental thing, bro.
I know it's a mental tick, but I've literally seen players like fuck up the execution on the bottle and drink. I've seen them spill water on themselves. I've seen them go and then put the bottle back down because they don't have time. I've seen them almost choke on the water.
Imagine you just malfunction your stick or something, bro. Like you just fucking drop the water on your stick.
Or you start choking, literally. Like you're rushing a sip of water. Like I know it's a mental tick to like clear your mind during the animation, but everyone is doing it, and I'm like, dude, I've seen this. Like it's happened in the past where players have like dropped their water bottle.
I feel like everybody has their own specific thing they do during the super. Like some people, if they play, like people who play on stick, I feel like a lot of y'all would like fucking like, you know, I play on pad, but a lot of y'all would like do a fucking some weird ass piano.
Piano.
Shit. That's pissing me off.
I mash mad buttons.
Piano thing when y'all hit a super.
Yeah, I'm mashing mad buttons.
Yeah, like yeah, and you know, somebody actually in a chat at Capcom Cup, I guess they're new to this, and they're like, why do the guys drink so much water? Like, like is that not gonna make them have to pee a lot or something like that? Like, are they that thirsty? And I'm like, bro, it's a mental thing.
Yeah,
it's not.
It's a tick.
They don't even notice they're drinking water. Like everybody do that. Like we all have.
In between sets, in games, I absolutely reach for the water. Absolutely, bro, and you do get thirsty.
You know the nastiest thing I ever seen was, for some reason, shout out to Punk. This motherfucker was at NCR or something like that. I wasn't even at a tournament. I was watching that shit on stream. This motherfucker was up there drinking a Coca-Cola between sets. I said, Punk, that's the fattest shit I ever seen in my goddamn life. This motherfucker was drinking Coca-Cola between sets.
Well, on the day he won his matches in group stages, what was he drinking? The Kirkland brand organic apple juice box. On stream.
So it's healthy?
On stream. It's still sugar. I think that might be the secret. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get that.
You know what? Yeah, you gotta sacrifice something.
Keep that sugar going in the system. It might be something. I mean, Coca-Cola, that sugar, caffeine. The one time I would go for like a sugary drink would be if you're about to do something competitive or like exercise or something. That's the one time. It makes sense to me. That might be the secret.
But to sip it every time between a set is just horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not. You can
choose a better drink than Coke.
Yeah, you could get something a little lighter.
Gatorade or an energy drink, maybe. But
I've done Gatorade.
Yeah.
Even though you shit on me about Gatorade, we saw me drink that shit.
You don't need. Yeah, no, it's not good.
No, I don't drink it. I don't be drinking it, bro. Okay, how about my boy Kev, brother?
What about him? Zangief got him. He got cooked by Zangief Bellotto, and he almost had Kakeru, but yeah, it didn't work out.
He got jumped in on, and then he got jumped in on twice. Remember, at the time where he had to play Zangief Bellotto too, Zangief Bellotto had nothing to gain. I don't know if you remember that.
No,
by the time they played, Zangief Bellotto was already out for sure.
Yes,
I remember.
Yes.
He was already out,
Correct.
but Kev needed to win that to get in.
Yeah, because Tokido won 2-0, which ensured. Oh, okay. So maybe I spoke it backwards. Yeah, I misspoke about the Halibut one earlier. I forgot that Zangief Bellotto played Dual Kevin after. So, if Zangief Bellotto won that 2-0 and Tokido lost a game, then Zangief Bellotto had made it over. But yeah, you're right. By the time Zangief Bellotto went up, because Tokido won 2-0, it was over. But also, who knows if you even did the math at that point? You know, maybe you're just like blocking that out of your head and you're just thinking win no matter what.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's kind of complex. Maybe. Like, if you're stressing about the match.
That's a scary spot to play somebody. Well, I think he knew. Because he wasn't even like popping off about like winning. I mean, of course he's fucking godlike, but that's so scary. I feel like though to play against that, like to play against that amazing Zangief player in that situation. Now I do wonder if Kev have a Geef problem though.
Because if Kev won that 2-0, he would have made it out over Tokido. Yeah, he would have had a higher game differential, +3, I think. He lost 2-0 to Zangief. Yeah, he would have been +3. He would have made it out over Tokido. At minimum.
Okay.
You would have had +2 or +3.
Bro. The group. This is the group that we was honestly one of the ones that we were most excited about, and we thought it was the most balanced. Did anybody pick Blaz to even make it out? The Blaz to make it out even loser side out of me, you, and iDom? No. In chat, did any of y'all keep it a buck? Don't cap.
You have to be from South America or like someone's saying I did it. You can check the VODs. If you're from South America, then I understand. But that's also like Rob calling Dual Kevin.
Yeah, that's like me. Yeah,
I say
that's different.
Someone not from South America also calling Blaz. Like the thing about Blaz is, yeah, it was just you have to be. It's objectively, in my opinion, almost a bad bet because you just don't have enough data points. Almost like you'd have to be,
and because he's 15.
He's 15. Yeah, I. If you are from South America, I get it though. But his level of play was super impressive. Like when I watched the VODs of him playing World Warrior, amazing. But I thought he would just be nervous. I could not have predicted that he's a machine,
bro. And in a group, even skill wise, even though you knew his godlike and everything, not 5-0. Even skill wise, we know he was 5-0 in this group.
No,
literally everybody he beat is godlike, and he won. He went 5-0, bro.
No, I wouldn't have predicted that. I mean, after day 2, I was like, "Oh, well, this might be his hardest matchups." I think were day 1 and day 2. So going into day 3, at that point, I was like, "Okay, good luck." Bravery and iDom had to play him on day 3. At that point, I was convinced.
iDom,
yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Where is iDom at? Is iDom in the chat? Is iDom
is he back?
What the fuck is iDom doing going 1-4?
Yeah, I feel bad for iDom because day 1, he was last round on both his matches. Literally. He was so close to winning against Armper and Bravery. Once he dropped those 2, I was like, dude, it's not looking good.
Who travels across the planet, Brian, to go to character select and Manon? Who travel across the earth for $1 million tournament? You in the air for 14 hours knowing you about to land and get your ass beat. Because you about to pick Manon. You know it. But you just do it anyway.
Did he play
this is masochism.
Objectively the lowest tier character in the whole tournament?
And what are you, Jesus? You think you about to just go there and change the whole, you about to part the fucking Red Sea or some shit? Or did Moses do that? You know what the fuck I'm saying, Brian?
Who's worse?
You're not about to
Mr.
go there
Crimson,
and turn water to wine.
Mr. Crimson. Dhalsim or Manon? Who's lower tier?
Manon.
You think so? Maybe.
Bro, Mr. Crimson was doing his shit, bro.
I mean, he's always trying to do his shit, but I do think the meta is not. He's doing his best, man.
Okay, but bro, Manon bro, who's scared of her like that? Like to win a tournament.
To win a tournament, no.
You scared of her in the first of 2, but you're not scared of her like
on an individual level.
I mean?
She's scary, but over a longer tournament, yeah, it's bad odds.
And you're playing round robin. You need stability.
Yeah,
I feel like iDom got to decide. This is my thing. Like, because iDom is godlike. He one of the best in the world.
And he can play zoning
characters. He literally
characters.
is handicapped right now. What'd you say, Brian?
He can play zoning characters. He's not. He had poison. You know what I mean? Like he can play space control characters. He doesn't, and he's played JP a little bit. JP's always kind of crusty.
His JP will be godlike, I think.
Yeah, his JP's always a little crusty, but has solid fundamentals. Like he's taken games and sets of like players like Nephew and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's like he just has to commit to something. But yeah, his mental attitude.
Had titties.
That's JP what?
If only JP had titties.
Pretty much. That might be the problem here. That might be the one thing that could get him over his disdain for drive rush and throw loops. Would be a waifu JP. Yeah,
he's in an interesting situation. What do you do if you're a pro Street Fighter? Like if you're a pro basketball player, you're gonna like basketball. Like you like basketball. This is gonna be the same from when you were a kid to when you fucking 40. The game not gonna change. If you're a pro esports player, then the next Call of Duty might be different than this Call of Duty. And do you still like it when it's jetpacks and all this shit? But you don't like it, but it's what you do.
The next month might be different. But to be fair,
yeah.
And the worst part is you already see that with sports. What happened to the game I love? Isn't that like one of the most famous NBA Twitter memes? Like they make the most minute adjustment to the rules of the game, and people lose their fucking minds.
That's more so the old dudes that don't play anymore complain about the new game. The current players not complaining about the new game as much. You know what I mean? I feel like in this is like
usually the rules aren't significant enough for active players to complain that much when they do change rules
because it takes a while.
Yeah,
there's no heavy ass balance patch or new game.
They're not patching physics, right? Like, that's what I would talk about with sports. Like physics aren't being patched, so like at least you have some stability there. Like if you're 7'3", like congrats, you know, like you're not gonna wake up next season and you're 5'9", you know, like it's not. You're gonna be okay. But yeah, it's tough.
Put some respect on 5'9", Brian. I'm 5'8".
There you go. Maybe Rob in the NBA. What was Bugsy? What was his name?
Did you just try to tell me I'm Muggsy Bowles' height? Hold on.
Is his name Bugsy or Muggsy?
Here. It's Muggsy.
Isn't he 5'3"?
Let me see.
Isn't he like something crazy? Like,
let me see Muggsy Bowles' height. This nigga 5'3", bro.
Yeah,
5'3". My fucking name. I'm way big.
So
Y'all always act like I'm fucking Muggsy Bowles' height. I'm fucking Kevin Hart height. I'm way bigger than
well above. You're ready to go, man.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, iDom is in a weird spot to me, bro. Because I just feel like if you're gonna play anyway, bro, pick a fucking top tier and like I not sound like Sanford. Shout out my boy Sanford. If you're gonna play anyway, pick a top tier or at least pick a mid tier. Damn, like
I mean that's tough.
Don't pick no bad.
Hopefully the cast
you
keeps
like
picking up.
You had Manon and you qualified for this.
No, he's mad good. He needs a healthier mental attitude and to accept the game as it is. That's what's holding him back. It's all in the mind.
I mean, yeah. Because how you gonna beat somebody like Noah? Don't give a fuck about none of that. He ain't thinking about
he loves it.
He embracing the game fully.
He loves it. Actually, yeah. Is Noah still in the chat? I don't know if I've ever heard him actually talk about the game like that. He just talks about competing and
I asked him about it. I asked him about it before on the phone, and like, bro, what do you like? I'm like, so do you just embrace the game, like, like the even like the bullshit parts and everything? He was like, oh no, I fucking love the game. He's like, this is fucking great.
There you go.
he liked it way better than 5 and everything. So he loved the game, and you see it in that goddamn play. That motherfucker don't look inhibited whatsoever.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
iDom has to
he on the playground.
Unlock that. All right, Group E. Group
5-0 in that group is crazy though. Okay, Group E. Damn, Mena and loser side, bro.
We all called the 2 people getting out, except for iDom put Mr. Crimson instead of Fuudo, but we all put Mena winners. No one put Fuudo winners.
But you know the thing with Mena, that's the big conversation, one of the big conversations of that group right there. And I feel like with the with the MenaRD situation, it's just a character character crisis, bro.
Him busting out the Bison was surprising. Like that, I mean,
that's what he used at Street Fighter League.
Right. Once he brought that out in Street Fighter League, I was like, oh, like he's serious. Like I saw like replays of him using Bison, but I didn't know if that was like the tournament pick. Fuudo, on the other hand, locked into Ed, locked. As soon as Ed dropped, right, he's just been refining, and Ed's super good, still super good after the patch. And I think it shows. His awareness in some of these matchups was absurd. Like, chat was telling me it's not unusual, but when I watched him play Mr. Crimson, the way he handled Dhalsim was he was ducking underneath mid-screen, spaced out stand heavy kick from Dhalsim, the diagonal leg that goes out. He would duck underneath it, like be right at the perfect range so that it would whiff instead of making contact. He would whiff punish that with the crouch and leg kick drive rush cancel from like a half screen away. And then drive rush all the way in, crouching medium kick because it's a punish counter. Get mad hit stun.
In it combo?
Full combo. He did that like 3 or 4 times in the set. And I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like as soon as that was day 1. And I was like, dude, he's going to know the matchups inside and out on such a practice level where
that's stuff that you can't pick up in a few months with a character.
MenaRD is the best at playing the player. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm watching MenaRD. I think his strategies are very simple. He simplifies the game, but we don't often see like super in-depth matchup specific breakdowns, and I think that's part of him swapping characters a lot.
He's reading you.
Yeah, he's using the tools to simplify the game plan to counter what you want to do, rather than having like real matchup specific, character specific answers. And I think it showed.
Yeah, have you, Brian? You've been in situations where you like go to a tournament. Like I go to a spot where like maybe I go play in a tournament and I have a counter pick character for like if I run to a bad matchup, but maybe I lose that first match with the matchup that I win, and I go to my Kieran who loses the matchup, but I win.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I think like I'm sure you experienced that shit too.
Yeah.
Like in the end of the day, your main is your motherfucking. It's like breathing. It's like a part of you on some weird. That's like some fucking lame ass shit, but it's the truth. It's like your character that you play all the time with 1 billion hours. It's deeper than a tier list.
Right.
So I think Mena would have performed better if he literally just was like, "Fuck it, this who I want to play," and just play that character alone.
But
Like,
that's
this what
a
I'm
decision he'd have to make a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
That's tough. He was in a bad spot with
But that's what it looked like though, right? I don't think it didn't look like nervous or anything to me. It just literally looked like that his bison is not as sharp or as like second nature to him as
Fuudo beat Mena harder than I've ever seen Mena get beat ever. I don't know if you saw that match. I think it was 4 rounds
I'm about
straight.
to wash that shit out my brain.
It's like a 1 minute 30-second match. 2 minutes maybe.
Damn.
It was bad.
What was the characters?
He went Blanca, then he went M Bison, or he tried both. I don't know what order it was, but he used both. It was it was done. Fuudo +9, even more than Blaz, right? +9.
That's crazy.
In the game differential. Blaz was +7.
Is that rounds right there? He went 10. I think he won 10 rounds and lost 1.
He only lost 1 game the entire time.
10 games to 1. Oh my god.
Yeah, who got the game? It was ChrisCCH did the best. ChrisCCH actually almost beat Fuudo. He had a really close set with Fuudo.
Chris just started off slow overall in the tournament. He started off bad and then was bringing it back.
Yeah,
I feel like Chris is just like got his real life shit going on, not negative stuff, but good stuff.
Right.
I think he in that goddamn career mode and shit, but he still got his
he's an engineer. Like, I think he's working as an engineer right now, right? So he's busy. He's balancing this.
Yes.
With all respect, I understand that split, but he's making it work. But he's also a little bit like a MenaRD. Like I told you, he's probably going to play Terry. And he played Terry. His best performances were with
right.
Terry. Like I think he mostly did he use Terry? Any other character? Terry.
That's the danger of using all these different characters, bro. To be honest, I don't think anybody should play more than like as for a serious tournament. Generally speaking, who plays more than 3 characters in like use them in tournament? Really low key, it'd be like 2 characters.
There's people who go through
that
seasons.
Great results.
Seasonal is one thing. Like Kakeru is seasonal, right? Like he got wins with all 3 of his characters, Akuma, M Bison, and JP. But it's more like seasonal, and it's not like in the same tournament, Except Topanga League, you could argue in between different sets, he would use 2 different characters. So he got second at Topanga League, and he used both Akuma, and then M Bison came out, and then he picked up M Bison and won his last couple sets.
Who are you talking about, Brian?
Kakeru.
Oh, okay.
So he got second to, I think he only lost by like 1 game record to Kobayan because Kobayan beat everybody. So I think that might have been his only loss was Kobayan. And he beat everybody else with Akuma and M Bison.
Yeah, that sticking to one character.
Xiaohai. People were saying Xiaohai. Yeah, Esports World Cup Xiaohai. Chat, you right.
Yeah.
People mentioned the KOF buff. I wonder if that's a real thing. You think that's how relevant do you think that is? Xiaohai playing KOF.
What you mean?
You're required to play 3 characters to win in KOF. You have to master 3. So seems like he might be wired.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that you had to play 3 characters in KOF?
I don't play KOF.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't play KOF.
I know you don't play it, but you might have accidentally seen. I'm sure I played it
as a kid or something
10 hours
like that.
total.
Like I played all this shit as a kid. Oh, okay.
I've watched it. Yeah, there's some classic KOF. I mean, I guess were you around for KOF 13 era, like 2013, 2012? Were you in the scene back then?
No, I got to the offline scene in 2017.
Reynolds. You know Reynolds, right? From
I know that. Yeah, that's the homie.
He won Evo 2013, and that was one of the best Evos of all time. I got my homies in college not playing fighting games at all to watch that one. That was one of the greatest. He was wearing his sunglasses inside, and he's going up against the Koreans and the Chinese. And
did he play with them on?
Who was the? He had them on the whole time. He was looking like that. Kind of how F Champ did it in Marvel back in the day, and he's from he's Mexican going up against the top players from Cafe ID in Korea. I'm forgetting their names. And they're like all esport jerseyed out and everything, and he's like doing the punk, the thinking pose and everything. No, it was one of the best.
Oh, he popping off on everybody and everything.
Oh yeah, no, I mean he's like looking confident, cocky, like making gestures. Like no, he looked badass. It was sick.
That's godlike. That's with the shades is crazy.
No, it's a classic Evo,
that's
dude.
Godlike. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, because KOF 13 was sick. I can understand not watching the other KOFs. KOF 13 was a beautiful game just to look at. But anyways, yeah.
Bro, did y'all just ask if F Champ is Mexican? Nigga name is Filipino Champ.
I mean, they're trying. They're trying, man.
Okay, all right. Group F. A lot of people thought Group F was like the group of death, but I mean, I guess it was. But the people that we no, Xian was the story of that group for me, bro.
Xian showed up.
We didn't know Xian was gonna play so amazing.
He shows up at Capcom Cup consistently after like because he struggled to even get in to Capcom Cup. He didn't get in through the World Warrior point system. Yeah, Inkross had a really good post. Shout out to Inkross. Hold on.
Inkross got one of the best FTC Twitter accounts. Facts.
Yeah, he has Xian and Fuudo's record here at Capcom Cup. Xian from 2013 to 2025, second, third, 9th, 13th, 4th, 9th, 2023 didn't make it, 9th. So
that's Xian.
That's Xian. He's had 4 top 4 finishes.
Damn.
And he's been in all of them except for 2023.
That is amazing.
He just always shows up in some way. Top 16 at every single one of them, minimum. And usually at least 9th.
Damn, that's somebody. So he's somebody who shows up when it matters most for sure.
Yeah, and he struggled. He struggled to qualify. So that's why I feel like.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about that video he put out.
Yeah,
with Mike.
Yeah, it was a really good video. He got kind of cooked. He got like 9th in the last World Warrior. He had to do the regional finals. Barely made it in. But then he cooked.
He said almost the most Capcom Cup appearances. Who has the most Capcom Cup appearances?
Is it Fuudo? Phenom? Fuudo? Who said that?
Phenom be cooking at Cup too.
I don't think it's Phenom. Phenom wasn't there early on. I mean, he's tied with Fuudo. Maybe it's just Fuudo. Yeah, Xian and Fuudo.
Oh, it is Xian. Damn, you know how god like that is, bro? Fuck. Yeah. Damn, Xian won Evo 12 years ago. That's wild.
Yeah, but Leshar making this out. We all call Leshar, right? Yeah, we also Leshar Big Bird. Big Bird, man.
He has a cut problem, man. Shout out my boy Adele, bro. He got a cut problem, man.
Man, 3-2. Xian got him. Jack almost got him. He came clutch. His set versus Jack was down to the last interaction. Shout out to Jack also getting the win over Leshar. That put the group into chaos. Beating Leshar 2-0. Kind of free, actually, day one.
Yeah. Jack is fucking nice, bro.
But
he
chaos.
Still finished how we would expect, I would say, overall.
2-3. Yeah. I mean, he could have, if he beat Big Bird, nah, it was still done for. Xian was cooking.
I wouldn't have had Uriel. Shout out my boy Uriel. I wouldn't have had him going 0-5. I think I would have had him.
I thought he would take at least 1 or 2 sets. Yeah.
I got him taking 1 or 2. Yeah. I would have had him taking 1 or 2. But Big Bird, I feel like there's this weird fucking force field around Capcom Cup for Big Bird. Because it's not a skill issue. Obviously. It's some, but I'm telling you,
it's
bro,
becoming a complex. I feel like.
Yes, and like I don't even like the way he talks about it on Twitter.
Yeah,
in advance.
He talks about it in the interviews too.
I really don't like that.
He mentioned it in the interviews too. Yeah, I mean,
you already putting it into existence. Like, oh, hopefully I don't do bad at Cup again, and it's my worst luck at Cup. Like, I feel like he just shouldn't bring it up so that he can just have a positive mindset,
or learn how to process it. I don't know. It's weird how much of this is psychology, because I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know best what he should do, right? I think there's also that element to it.
Yeah.
But like, I do agree that it puts a bad omen into the universe, where I can understand that if I was in his position and I was feeling those things and verbalizing those things, I feel like for me that would put me into a negative mind space where I'm inviting negative energy, and when things start going not my way, I can feel the walls caving in and be like, oh, of course, the negative outcome I expected is coming to fruition. It's like I'm pre-Johnning to a degree.
Now your reactions might slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm already trying to cope with my impending loss rather than not even making that a reality that could exist. Whereas if you go in thinking, I'm going to win, I'm going to be the best, whatever, it's probably going to hurt more when you lose. But you kind of
you got a better chance to not lose.
Right, yeah. I feel like you're kind of already coping for your loss prematurely.
You got to put your heart on the fucking, heart on your sleeve. You got to risk it.
Right. I'd rather you at least be like,
you got to risk it.
I know I'm not the favorite to win, but I'm going to give it my fucking best. Like, I'd rather that. You know what I mean? Like, even if you got to not be totally delusional.
Like, hey, but it's going to be hard as fuck to beat me. Like, you're going to have to earn this
some
shit.
kind of
that is a better mentality.
Gusto with it. Personally, anytime I feel like I've done well, I'll outperform my own expectations or skill. It's because I had some gusto with it. There's some kind of chip on your shoulder, something in the back of your mind that's driving you. Anytime you're like, I don't know, then that's how it ends up.
Bro, I think that's the biggest story. Well, not the biggest story. The biggest story is Blaz. But the overarching theme is the concept of psychology. These tournaments is not about skill alone. These players are so good, and there's so many that are so amazing. You're not about to win this shit off of just skill, brother.
Right.
Everybody's skilled. Not everybody, but this shit is mental.
You got to reach that echelon, and then once you're there, it's about managing your mental, because the margins are razor thin. And a game like Street Fighter, it's fast-paced poker, man. Like, it's a mental game at that point. Like, you have to work really fucking hard to get there, and you take any edge you can in terms of skill. But those margins are still tiny margins, and the way you hedge your bets into your favor is having a better mental game. Absolutely.
You ever think about what it means, even when, like, chat, I don't know if y'all be thinking about this, but, like, when I'm watching, like, Cup, I'm like, bro, every time somebody did, like, a wake-up DP, it's like, fuck, like, this is a Capcom Cup DP. You know what I mean? Like,
tens of thousands of dollars on the line when people do that. Shuto was doing that against Blaz. I think he was about to. It was 3-2 that set, right? He did like a wake up DP and it landed, and then on the next knockdown he did wake up level 1, and it got blocked and he lost. But like you see, Shuto went like Shuto was another big story to me. I really loved the energy he brought the whole way through. We'll talk about it when we get there, but yeah, let's keep moving. I want to get through this. Group G. Okay. Anything crazy here? We called Xiaohai Do.
Yes, your boy, bro. You talk so highly on JuicyJoe. Now, I don't think you ain't have him make it out this shit. I don't think.
He was another Blaz.
Highly on JuicyJoe.
Blaz, Broski, and JuicyJoe were the three people I was hyping up, but I was not confident to bet on. Those were the three people where I was like, I know no one's gonna really put them as the people to get out, but those are the people to look out for, and he fucking cooked.
He's one of the most slept on stories because Blaz and all them took the thunder. That motherfucker went crazy, bro.
Beat everybody.
I did not see that coming at all. I ain't see that. I want to see who he beat.
He beat everybody except for Xiaohai.
Damn, in that group.
Yeah, and then top 16, he beat AngryBird 3-2 and winners.
And then he lost both his matches in top 8?
He lost to Leshar, and then he lost to AngryBird again in the run back. So AngryBird got his revenge.
Oh shit, that's an amazing run.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He got top 8 winners at Capcom Cup, man.
Yeah, and look at that group. He beat fucking Xiaohai. Who beat him in the group? Only Xiaohai?
Only Xiaohai. And it was close. And Xiaohai beat him with Mai. And it was super close.
Look how close kills you was to qualifying.
After getting cooked. Was 0-3 until the final day. And then he beat Xiaohai. He beat Xiaohai kind of free.
You're right. He
costs. Well, he didn't cost necessarily. He would have had a.
He did something. I know what you're talking about.
It did. That did. If Xiaohai 2-0'd kills you, he would have got out in winners still. So Xiaohai kind of fumbled the winners at the end, the last day. Nephew beat him 2-1 and then kills you. If Xiaohai beat and kills you 2-0, he still would have made it out in winners. He would have had the tied game differential with JuicyJoe and win the head to head. So Xiaohai at the very last day fumbled.
He only would have been +2 though, right?
No, because he would have been before the match. He would have been +2 before going into the match versus kills you. He lost 0-2 to make him 0. Yeah, so he would have been tied with Joe and then got out in winners. So Xiaohai kind of fumbled.
You know, in this group, what we gotta talk about, brother? We not about to move on without talking about the elephant in the motherfucking room. Chat.
Caba
in Group G, Nuckledu Dang versus Caba. Ooh, shit. I thought it was over after the set. Look, going into the set. Let's set the stage a little bit, just a little bit. This was the goddamn beef set of Capcom Cup. We didn't get Men in Punk, obviously, but we got this. This was the biggest beef set in general. So going into that match, it was like, all right, whoever get this is GG. Now, we have to understand, Caba was already eliminated. But Caba beat Nuckledu, and that is what eliminated him from you remember that, bro?
Right.
Caba beating him eliminated him from Capcom Cup. Which is fucking, imagine, bro. That is the type of shit I dream about. You understand? With the hate, the salt that I can put on a motherfucker. We hate each other. We got beef. And I get to drag you to hell with me. I'm the man.
That's literally exactly what I said. That's the line verbatim I dropped when I saw this set. That Caba was like, I ain't getting out of groups, but I'm dragging you to fucking hell with me. And then the pop off with the number one silently.
Let's go. That's
all that had to be said. All that had to be said.
That shit was fucking crazy, brother.
Yeah, because you're right. If Dude had won that set, he would have had a 3-2 record and a better than 0 game differential. He would have got out in losers. So, and that was the last set.
Xiaohai wouldn't have made it.
Xiaohai would have been knocked out, and Nuckledu would have taken his spot. So yeah, Caba doing that, and the way he did it. First of all, Do going Cammy, which is what I predicted. Like
what we expect.
Du's been doing that a lot versus Caba, and then Caba landing the dirty DI. You remember the setup? He does the knockdown meaty into the corner. Then he does a meaty DI, but he does it early so that it barely whiffs before Do wakes up. And then Do presses counter DI on wake up, but Caba recovers and then DIs in return. It's a DI bait. You didn't see that? Hold on.
I gotta look at that shit.
Hold on. Let me pull it.
Oh, no.
You didn't see this?
I watched this live, but
he was trying to beat out the OD flash kick.
What an exchange. Holy smokes, the perfect parry and still got the trade-off.
You see it? That's a setup.
Bro, back that shit up again, no Diddy. Bro,
That's a setup.
Bro, did he whip a throw after too?
Holy smokes, the perfect parry.
No, just immediate DI after the flash kick. That's a setup.
Oh my God.
People call that the dirty DI. Have you seen that before? People have been doing that. Some Japanese players started doing that this season. And people started incorporating that. They do setups where you whiff DI so meaty that you barely recover in time, like last frame, to counter DI to fuck with people. And also, if like you whiff parry, I think you might be safe if they whiff parry. I'm not sure the exact frame data, but like you think, if they try to perfect parry it, even then they don't get a punish.
Yeah. Oh, that's disgusting.
So it starts fucking with people because they're like their whole reaction. Game playing gets
if they
messed
whiff
up.
parry, you get a punish counter throw.
Yeah, so you have to be ready for it. I mean, you can do like parry into dry rush maybe, but like it's to do it at Capcom Cup in the beef set, like that's huge.
God damn. Okay, look, bruh. So then I'm thinking, look, this is what I thought. I was texting my dad because my dad stayed up watching too. I'm texting Pop. I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, in my opinion, the beef is over. So I fucking thought. Because I'm like, after I win the Capcom Cup, it's over. Like, I won the beef. You know what I mean? Like, what's more important than this? And then the tweets, chat. The fucking tweets. Pull them up, Brian.
It's always the tweets. You want me to pull it up? I don't even know if
this
one doesn't
bro,
even, this doesn't even make me feel good at this point.
Bro, it's okay. This is me. This is me being dramatic. We gotta see the tweets.
At this point, I don't even feel good about it.
That shit was and then a punk quote tweet and everything, but
all right. Do says emotions was high and I didn't even notice the pop-off as I was sad about not qualifying. I just hugged Caba to show there's no bad blood. I don't regret it. How come no one from Dominican Republic says anything when I beat him at Street Fighter League? Maybe because I don't pop
don't
off.
try to go fast that too fast. Read slower.
You read it, Rob. This doesn't even make me feel good. I normally like the beef.
All right, let me read
this one
it.
don't even make me feel good. This is not a feel good moment for me.
Hell no. I got this. Hold on.
This one I don't like this one.
Hot. This is the energy that he had when he read this shit. I'm gonna tell y'all. Emotions was high, bitch ass nigga. And I didn't even notice the pop off as I was sad.
That's not exactly what
about
he said.
Not qualifying. I just hugged this whole ass nigga to show we cool. Ain't even no bad blood. And I don't even regret it because I'm real like that. But how come nobody from DR say shit when I beat this motherfucker at Street Fighter League? I don't be hearing none of that. Everybody quiet. Maybe it's because I don't pop off after wins because I ain't got to pop off because I got some class. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because Nuckledu got class. Maybe Caba, you ain't got no fucking class, so you popping off. So then now the DR going crazy when you win because you doing all that extra shit. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Hear this out because I'm Nuckledu motherfucking dang. I got a Capcom Cup. You don't. Beating me don't prove that you the best guy, especially when you out of contention for Capcom Cup. And I'm still fighting for Capcom Cup qualification. So why you even hype? It's different stakes. So it's easy for you. Lex the best Lex the best gal. Now, how about that? Lex the best gal. The $10,000 money match offer is still there, by the way. Gal versus gal, first to 10. Take care, nigga.
I think you might have improvised a few parts of that quote. Maybe not verbatim.
Clip it, chat.
The energy, I mean, maybe the energy like that was there. Like, maybe not verbatim, word for word, but I think you did maybe a decent job of capturing the essence of the message. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I didn't even want to get into this one because I feel like this...
Punk tweeted it and said, I'm down for the 2v2 Mena and Caba versus me and Do, question mark.
They're just on a war path. They just want to fight DR, dude. What is it's gonna be a Do versus Punk Kumite at DR? Just like send them all up. Every single Street Fighter player in the Dominican Republic, one by one.
Punk and Do versus Mena and Caba. Please give us that blink respawn, bro. Please.
That would be pretty sick.
That shit is godlike.
I like that. I personally love Do. All respect to him. I feel like he shouldn't have. This one, I feel like he should have left in the drafts.
You think so?
I think he should have left this one in the drafts. I don't.
How come?
I see the arguments. I just think there's no way there's good optics for that. To mention anything about a loss at Capcom Cup, to say you're fighting for different stakes, while I do agree that definitely impacts the results, that's something you leave for the media to mention the context for.
To say.
And you as the player... in the moment for your own optics and your own mental health for the chatter on Twitter would leave in the drafts. So that's why I don't even feel good. I don't even feel good about talking about this because I just feel like this is just not. I don't know.
He's standing on business. This is his. He comfortable with this. Like he's standing on it. Their beef is just that deep. Now the only thing I say is, again. Can we please stop the 10K?
It's too much.
The 10K talk.
It's too much. I agree.
Stop it. To me, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's fight. Let's fight each other. Let's meet up and fight, but only if it's for $1 million. Like, bro, you saying you don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I'm with all the trash talk, but if you really want to play, it's about the principle. It's not about the fucking pape. It ain't like you trying to do this to make some money. It's the principle. So y'all can play for fucking appearance fees of fucking $3K a person or something like that, but the winner get $5K.
Or they can play at Capcom Cup for qualification into top. I don't know. I just feel like we saw.
Brian.
I just feel like we saw.
I feel you though.
To me, this is what I'm saying. I just don't feel like this was the best time. I don't know. I just feel like there's a time and place.
Because he won. Like
Caba just won the set.
That's why I thought it was over. I was like. Because I'm not gonna lie, on my end, if Buddy beat me at Capcom Cup after we got beef and you eliminated me from Cup, I probably would respect it as like for now that's the end of this beat or the end of that chapter. Like at least it's the end of that chapter.
Let it
like
cool down a little bit and then reignite it.
I'll see you later on. Yes, I'll see you later on. But
I still would want Dude's my boy. I'm just speaking from the perspective of my dog. I want him to be happy, healthy, well. You know what I mean? That's all I'm coming from. You know, if this
Sajam said the best gal lives in super region, UK, Ireland.
Yes, Sajam was what's up, Sajam? Sajam was dropping the what about Higuchi. That is funny that this keeps happening. I do agree. All the chatters, every time this comes up, people go like Higuchi, hello. And Higuchi was like one set away from being in Capcom Cup over Kakeru, by the way. You know, like Higuchi would nearly
That's
did
crazy.
the damn thing. He was the next runner up in the points, and it was like almost a 3-way tie with Higuchi, Kakeru, and Momochi, and Goichi basically
Hey man,
gatekept him.
gotta. Hey man, gotta speak English. Or actually, no, never mind. Caba don't speak English. Never mind. I was about to say
All
because they must have some
Caba knows is,
invisible
I'm
lines.
the best
They must have an
guy.
invisible line. Would you say, Brian?
I'm saying all Caba knows is I'm the best guy. Like, he knows all he needs to know. That's the only phrase he has to know. It'll get him by. He doesn't have to know anything
You know how much you had
else.
to hate a motherfucker to learn one sentence? Like you had to come to the tournament prepared to shit on this motherfucker. Like, oh, I can't wait till I like
Bust out the English.
I'm gonna say this as soon as
I need Higuchi to learn something. I need Higuchi, this CPT, come to Blink Respawn, beat both of them.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
yeah.
I'm the best guy.
Why did dude say Lex? Like, shout out to Lex. Why did dude just randomly say Lex the best guy?
Lex is still in Capcom Cup? I don't know.
Was he though?
At that point,
time?
because this was the first group of the day on elimination
Oh,
day.
but you can't say that. Like, it ain't like he made it further
He made
than
it
anybody
long.
else.
That's by the time, he's in Capcom Cup for longer.
That's crazy.
I don't
The
know.
group just was probably later in the day or something. Like, who knows?
Yeah, his group was.
That was so random.
Yeah, this was the first group of the day. Lex's group was at the end.
Oh my god! So you're like, so Lex
He
the
got a
best guy.
full 8 hours longer in Capcom Cup.
That shit was. But I will say, I think we gonna get these matches though. By the way, man,
I think the matches will be good.
we gonna get.
I don't-
But it's not gonna be no goddamn 10K like they wilding. Like, stop.
I think a 2v2 at Blink
If
Respawn
you-
would be cool. But
I would love that. Okay, chat. Who you got? Punk and Do versus Mena and Caba.
how are they
Who y'all
scoring
got?
that? I don't even know how that would be scored. I think you got to know the format a
I
little
don't think
bit.
we've ever have we really seen a lot of big 2v2 money match. We haven't really seen much of that.
Usually 2v2s are in like a larger bracket, and they're more, single elim, like first to two, both players, single elim kind of deal. You just beat like Pokemon style, right? So I don't know how you would do that in a longer format if you want to make it a bigger set. So,
Bro, hold the fuck up. Why the fuck would we do a 2v2? Just play each other 1v1 in two separate money matches the same day. Shut the fuck up. Why the fuck would y'all do a 2v2? That's stupid. I want to see Mena versus Punk with the full shit talk and drama, and I want to see Do versus Caba after, or
that
vice
would
versa.
probably be better. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah. That's like making it 2v2 takes some of the salt and pressure off of the dude who lose, so y'all can share it. I don't want y'all to trauma
that's
bond.
kind of the.
No, I want a nigga to feel it. Hell no, I want you to.
I mean,
lose
listen,
and
they
feel
gotta go up against the whole DR community. They're trying to. They're scared, man. They're scared of the shit talking that will ensue. Yeah, I think they're maybe trying to team up here to deal with the onslaught on social media.
That crowd will be so fucking lit, bro. Oh my god. Caba land a jab, the crowd. People passing out from a jab.
Every sonic boom blocked. Just,
I swear, just the pushback, just the drive gauge get taken away. I'm telling you. But yeah, I did not expect that tweet. But yeah, I think it was important for us to highlight it, bro.
I honestly think it's like 10% chance of happening. The 10K thrown out there. I don't know. If something happens, I think that would be sick. We've already seen the stipulations that it can't be Blink Respawn. Has to be like a neutral territory. I don't know. There's a lot of stipulations around these kind of showdowns happening, so I don't think it's likely.
I ain't even gonna put you in a position to ask, because that's beef. And we don't want no smoke. We can't speak on that. I don't know who gonna win on either side. I don't know.
All right,
we want no smoke. All right, let's go to the next group. Group H, the last one.
Group H, AngryBird and Shuto. Is that what we called? We called Kusanagi. My guy Alex here says AngryBird Shuto, not super clear for Brian F. I said AngryBird Shuto. If that's what happened, then I said
they said AngryBird Shuto.
There's a little question mark and said not super clear. But if that's what happened in reality, that's what I said.
Hell no.
I called it.
Because we had Kusanagi fucking up AngryBird.
AngryBird Shuto, baby.
No, hell no.
Let's go. I'm a prophet.
Because Kusanagi beat AngryBird ass at Street Fighter League. We was like, oh, he beat him so bad.
Yeah, Kusanagi just didn't play so well. But like the big one about this one, this group was nuts because how Shuto first day, he beat Kusanagi and AngryBird. So after that, I'm like, okay, Shuto, he did the hardest part day one. He's the favorite to make it out. And then that Seoul set, did you see how that ended? Seoul versus Shuto?
I don't remember. I've seen it, but I don't remember.
Brother, no, we're watching another set. This is the most.
Oh, please, yeah.
This is the most insane moment, I think, of Capcom Cup almost.
Pull that shit. Oh, I know. That's when he jumped through he was. Yeah, I want to see it anyway. But he was in burnout at the end and had to do the dive and everything. I remember.
Right. Yeah, he was
play that
way too thirsty for the chip, and then it cost him. Yeah, but this whole.
Here it is, the throw. No, wow.
Yeah,
Bro,
Shuto.
So look at that wake up low forward.
Yeah, Shuto wakes up with every button, like medium, heavies. Like he has different strategies on the timing of what button he wants to wake up with. This sequence was nuts too.
Oh, look at that! Come here.
Like,
you know what I love, by the way? Shuto's personality is fucking huge.
I love his energy.
Let me see.
He's feeling it. Every set he's popping off, and then look at the life deficit here.
I wonder if EX would have killed. DP after that. Oh, we close to the wall. Don't jump.
Come on, that's GG. That's supposed to be GG. Come here.
This changed the fate of Capcom Cup. That moment right there.
Oh my God. Rewind that, bro.
All he had to do was not throw that fireball. And Shuto would have gotten out in winners. And he might have won the whole thing.
The way he was playing.
He just needed to not throw fireball there. He just had to wait. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing. Soul still he has 1 bar super, but he's still in burnout for a long ass time.
It's over. You don't need to rush it.
If he just didn't rush this fireball and this wait for the right moment.
To be fair, bro, that's such a weird interaction.
Yeah.
Did Shuto did heavy demon flip, I think?
No, he just got
Before
knocked
that?
down, and they flipped over each other. He did the dive, and he crossed over. Yeah,
he demon flip dive kick, and he dived. So that's such a weird, and it's full screen.
Yeah.
That's a weird situation to not.
I don't blame him that he didn't realize he could get hit there. I'm just saying if he had just waited a few frames, he probably would have got the chip. Like that is nuts. I would have gotten clipped the same way. I would not have thought that he could recover in time to do that. And that changed everything, man. That loss right there, that put Shuto in losers. And Shuto was destroying people in the top 16, and he almost beat Blaz, right? That set with Blaz was nuts. Shuto, 3-1 Xiaohai, 3-2 Takamura, popping off the whole time, feeling it. I love Shuto's energy. He's one of the few Japanese
Shuto
players
had
who
the crowd lit.
Yeah, he's popping off. He's like, yelling. He's getting into it.
Yeah, bro. No, Shuto did something where I'm telling you, I don't remember the exact sequence, but I promise you, Brian, he screamed. The set's still going. He did something. It was just
no, in between games and sets, he's popping off while the set's going on the whole time. Like there was the Takamura set. That set was nutty too. His set versus Takamura.
It might have been that one.
So he had to make a comeback in that set, I believe. I think he was down 2-1 in the games, if I'm remembering. Yeah, he was down 2-1 and had to make a comeback, and he was just like feeling it. So I love his energy. But if he was in winners instead of AngryBird lost to JuicyJoe with Ken and beat him with Akuma. I think Shuto might have had a better shot beating him first try with Akuma.
Hey, my bro Juninho-RAS can fucking play, bro.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Raw style, he could play, bro.
He was cooking, and he was up. The thing with Juninho's run is that he had obviously the 2 favorites on the last day. Like he built so much momentum 3 games straight, and then the last day he had to play AngryBird and Shuto, who are obviously the guys to beat.
He was up 3-0. You're right.
He was after day 2. He was the leader. He was the only undefeated player after 2 days. So
yeah, I'll tell you what. What's the name? But Kusanagi. I can only explain Kusanagi's 0-5 by nerves. There ain't no way he's supposed to go 0-5.
Something was felt off. He did not play anything like himself. He's super strong. I definitely. And the other thing I was seeing here, like it felt like he didn't have his like Capcom Cup legs ready. And I want to give a shout out to Soul because Soul looked the same way. Soul on day 1, he had a 2-1 set against Juninho, and he got a game, but it was very shaky, very like dropping combos, weird interactions. Lex bullied him. Lex was smacking him up and down the stage. It was bad, like almost like fucking with him bad. I was like, oh, like that's what I'm always concerned about. I'm like, oh no, he's not ready. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't want to have this showing for yourself.
19 years old, from Kuwait, moved to Australia. You know, he's like all over, like so far away from home. You know what I mean? Like, I just want you to show up as a young player in that position and like be proud of how it goes down. And his set versus Lex was demoralizing to watch. And then the next day, he beats Shuto like that. I was like, okay, we're good. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, no matter what happens from here on out, like you made history. Like you changed the course of history there. He really did.
Can I say this too, Brian? This is something I learned from battle rap, and I took it into like the FGC in my competing days and shit. But I feel like this it still applies. It's moments are remembered even more than placements, unless you win a tournament or something like that, or you got a crazy storyline. Like, we will remember that Soul comeback, that round, more than we're gonna remember who the fuck got 9th place at Capcom Cup 11.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's just how it goes. That's like
Evo
when
moment 37,
Kakeru,
dude.
Moments for your career is
neither
bigger
of them
than
won
a
that
placement.
tournament.
Yeah, remember Uzura, Kakeru, the Caba.
Yeah.
Wake up forward dash on the V shift DP. Everybody gonna remember that shit. And that stuff boosts your career up a whole lot. So I think that's huge. Even like Jobby beating Tokido, the soul finish and everything.
Right.
Like,
No, that's huge for Jobby. Like Jobby, that's almost like, yeah, I agree with you. Like maybe in the moment he would trade getting top 16 and maybe he lost a set versus Tokido, like the groups work out a different way. But I think legacy wise, Jobby beating Tokido in that group was the best thing that could have happened. And I don't think for his career, too much would have happened. I mean, getting top 16 for him would be huge.
Yeah, but that's huge. But
yeah,
I still think this is big. I still think this is bigger. It's more memorable. Like if he made it out, but then lost immediately, versus this, I would have picked this. I think this is bigger for his career. Tokido came out publicly apparently and said that Jobby M is his rival, bro. Like,
yeah, that's huge.
And it's true.
Yeah, he can't deny it. Too
it
high
ain't
stakes.
much of a rivalry because your ass losing.
Yeah,
right now. Like that's everybody knows. Oh yeah, everybody respect Jobby M skill wise. Like it ain't like, oh, that's nice that somebody from South Africa. No, this motherfucker go fire.
Yes, I think he reaffirmed that. I think people like last Capcom Cup, Jobby M didn't have a moment like that. You know what I mean? His prestige was waning from that moment. He had that big explosion. Even in the previous Capcom Cups, because he was in Capcom Cup 2022, I think in the last one for Street Fighter 5. He's been there for a while now, right? He hadn't had a moment at Capcom Cup yet. So he had the moment with Tokido at Robokumite, and it's reaffirmed it. So I think that's a big win for him legacy-wise, like putting South Africa again on the map and like solidifying it. This was not a fluke. This was real. This was in a tournament for $1 million that Tokido really, really wanted to win. Like the details of how Tokido made it out will be blurred, but they'll remember that moment.
Yeah. That was absolutely fire. By the way, can we just say with Tokido real quick, bro? Common sense, but damn, that motherfucker is one of the GOATs, bro. He is that motherfucker. How long has he been doing this? And he is 39. Still consistently at the highest level. Like, he gets results through every single game. It don't matter how the game changes. We never even hear him complain about the game or nothing like that. Like, which I think it's okay to complain personally, but his model of consistency is unbelievable, bro.
Another top 8 at
and
Capcom
I feel like
Cup,
he definitely, and he's so famous. Like, I'll be damned if Tokido not rich by my standards.
You know, I was thinking about that today too,
he's
because
a superstar over there.
Bonchan, they had a Bonchan celebration tweet for his birthday. And Bonchan, on the other hand, also legendary, but he hasn't been. He's been doing Street Fighter League, I think, but he hasn't been really competing as much or succeeding as much in the World Warrior and making these appearances in Esports World Cup, right? Or I guess, did he go to Esports World Cup? He had a really good showing recently in some major tournament.
I don't think Bonchan was at EWC.
But yeah, he hasn't been as prolific in Street Fighter 6. Oh, he did. He did go to Esports.
He was there in Cross?
Yeah, but relative to like a Tokido, he hasn't been as prolific. And it got me thinking, I was like, man, how much more does he have left in him? Because Bonchan's a dad too. And I thought about Tokido, how he's so revered. He doesn't have any kids, right? Is he still, maybe he's married and keeps it on the down low? I don't know. He's single. That's one thing I thought about. He's like married to the game, and he's handsome. He's successful. He's in shape. He's a great role model. And I think about it and I'm like, man, he's really giving his life to this.
This nigga Brian, man. God, shut the fuck up, Brian.
I'm dead serious. You can try to make a joke out of it. I'm dead serious. This dude, you look at him.
Say married to the game. You right, but that shit sounded mad.
No, but I'm thinking about it. Like
they said, you glazing Tokido.
Facts. I will always glaze Tokido. Facts. And yeah,
that's how I feel about
but it makes me think about like life, right? Like you can't do anything forever. Life is, we have seasons in your life, and Tokido somehow is still doing this. Yeah, Daigo as well. It's like, man, it makes me wonder about like the balance of life as a competitor like this. Like they're really giving their all.
Most people, when they come to goddamn, well, I want to be honest, a lot of people who've accomplished the craziest shit in life did not have balance.
Yeah.
You don't really achieve crazy shit while having a balanced life.
That's what I'm getting at. I'm looking at Bonchan, and he's still one of the greatest. But I'm like,
happy. Bonchan too motherfucking happy.
I'm like, how much more does he have in him? Yeah, he has a wife and his twin kid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, how much more do you have in you to? He can do it. I'm not saying it's impossible to be a parent and do all this, but yeah, it's just really. As our goats are aging, it's something I think more and more about how long do you live this imbalanced life, especially as talent like Blaz is showing up 15 years old and beating your ass.
You know the crazy thing too, bro, is like I feel like it's a possibility if things stay how they are. You know how we have so many 40-plus-year-old or around 40 legends from Japan?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a possibility if it stays like this that we don't have the same thing from America. Active tournament placing because of the infrastructure. Because in Japan, you could be 40 you making enough money that you're sustaining your life and everything. You don't need to win, and you know what I mean. These guys don't need to win a tournament at all. They make enough money without that. They're famous over there,
right?
Whereas in America, it's not necessarily like that. So we might not see our greats. I hope so, but we might not see our greats stick around for as long if the infrastructure doesn't change a lot.
No, it's been a thing for a long time.
Right now,
I've talked about it all the time in the Street Fighter V era. The talent drain we had, we saw it from Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter 5. A handful of players fell off because they didn't like the game, right? But a lot of them fell off because there's no infrastructure to support it. It's like, well, it's time to grow up and get a job and pay for my rents and dental insurance. You know what I mean?
Or go do content or something, whatever it is. Like, but something more stable.
Yeah, we've had a talent drain for a long time. That was something I talked about a lot in the Street Fighter V era, but it hasn't changed that much. I think we're seeing some turnaround in the West, but it's still, I think Street Fighter League is the solution, or the most budding solution we have so far for that. Yep. But it's, like I said,
serious about it.
It's only really took off. I still argue it's only really taken off or already shown results in Japan. I think it will continue to grow in America.
It's big, bro. It's big in every, bro. I promise, no cap. Every country I go to, one of the first things people bring up is Street Fighter League. And in America,
but people, do any of the American players get a salary from it?
I can't speak on that.
None of the players from the last season got a salary, or most of them, they got appearance fees, but it's not the same thing. They're not eating from that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I believe that things. Should be maybe
change. But what I'm saying is, as of today, right now, it hasn't. And that's why I'm saying Street Fighter League is the most potential to potentially return that results. And we've already seen it do it in Japan. So unless something like that continues to grow in our region, we might still have that problem. Right. So we're seeing potential. We haven't solved it. We're seeing potential. And that's why I always say I have major concerns. That's why I talk about people going to Japan literally because of that reason. So not only will we have a talent drain in the West for not having the opportunities, eventually, if that doesn't take root here, they would just go to Japan where the opportunities are. So I'm definitely hoping things change, because we might have goats that age.
Because I want Punk to be goddamn 40 and still smoking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like I want, damn, bro, these motherfuckers been doing that long. I'm just thinking about that now. Like it make me think it's already been, bro, back in 2017 and shit. I've thought about it, right, bro? When me and you played at SCR in 2017 or whatever the fuck that was, 2018.
Yeah,
that was 2018.
No,
that was my
that was 2017.
Year. Oh, it was my first year then.
Yeah, you're still rocking the red shirt.
It was. Yeah, when we played at that, bro, Blaz is 15 right now. So that means he was
That was 8 years
7?
ago. Yeah.
That means he was 7 years old when we were playing that tournament.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Now he's in grand finals of Capcom Cup? Bro,
We're ass.
come on, brother. We fucking suck. We fucking
We're
suck.
ass, man. Sheesh.
We had all this time. Motherfuckers
What
playing
do we
with
do with
Legos
it?
and shit.
I'm telling you, nothing can compare. The only thing that would solve that is a time machine, dude. You have to find yourself when you're 7 years old and hand him the controller and be like, this is a Shoryuken. You know, like, get practicing. That's the only thing you can do.
That shit is, they said he's fucking born in 09. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
bro.
I wanted to make that joke somewhere in my recap, like, oh, the 09ers are finally stepping up. But it's an actual 09er.
Bro, what the fuck is being born in fucking 09? Are we getting older? What the fuck is this?
We're ancient, dude.
Bro, we're younger, bro. We not old, bro.
Whatever you want to believe.
Bro, we're in our fucking early 30s, bro. That's fucking young.
Don't say that out loud.
These motherfuckers just so goddamn. What's happening, Neon? Bro, these little ass kids, the FTC make a nigga feel older than anything else, bro, because everybody got this.
That ain't
You know
true.
Minute
This is
only
an
fucking
old-
25.
This is an old community, dude. What do you listen? You know, I prepped for this before we went live because I thought you were going to go this angle because you mentioned, and we were talking earlier before stream. You mentioned how this is the most impressive competitive feat you've ever seen, or one of them, right? For Blaz. I was trying to think. I was like, it's not. It's. I agree. This is more impressive, but what I want to talk about is, you know, at the Fortnite tournament scene, they're winning 1.1 million at 13 years old. At 16 years old, Buga won 3 million. Another kid from Brazil won $900,000 at 13 years old. You know, like in other scenes, they're literally children becoming millionaires from these games.
You're right. And you know what, bro? I feel like there's a certain, to be honest, this is what I have felt. And I don't know if this is a hot take. In my opinion, if more kids start playing Street Fighter, they're going to run this shit. No disrespect. No disrespect to the people who killing this shit right now and doing great. But I think if all these little 13-year-olds like Crime Man and Blaz, all these little dudes come play this shit, they're going to run the whole shit. I think they will run the whole. You can't compete, to me, with a motherfucker who never paid a bill, don't got shit to do all day but play the game, and can't even conceptualize what the money that they're playing for is. They really out there having, like Blaz was looking like he out there really having fun, like a little ass kid. Because he is.
I think he's
Like,
old enough to understand
you a grown ass
how much a
man
million
making a
is.
decision.
But to take it to an extreme, there is a point if you go
They don't know
younger,
what a million is, bro.
Okay, they know more, but it's still big enough to mean something at that age, for sure. But if you go younger, there is like I do agree with your point to an extent where like the difference between 1,000 and 50,000, 1,000 to a 12-year-old is already incomprehensible. Like you can get an Xbox with that. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Like that's already the limit. You know,
Don't
like
fucking matter, bro.
you're not thinking about a mortgage or like a down payment on a car. Like, you know, you're
Bro,
already.
if me and the homie had $5 to go to the corner store, we was happy as fuck. Like we was lit. We thought he was rich as fuck.
Right.
You got the $20 to go to the motherfucking mall, and they get like, they don't give a fuck about what the fuck they gonna buy, bro. What the fuck Noah gonna buy if he got $1 million? I was thinking about that.
More
Noah
socks and slides.
$1 million. Yeah, like he just want to play Street Fighter.
How many pairs of those slides do you think he has? Is it the same one that he's been wearing at all these tournaments? I hope he has at least more than one pair of socks. He's got the
slides
same
been around the world and back.
and running not barefoot, but in the socks on the ground everywhere, collecting the crumbs from the globe, combined
and
into
putting
that
it
one
back
sock.
in the slides.
That's where all his power is, man. That sock is powering up. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you though, Brian, I really do think those little dudes is the future, bro. It's just not never been playing. They lucky Blaz ain't win. I'm telling you. But it's still more, Brian. And fucking when we at these tournaments now, there's so many. Even kids just playing in pools. There's little kids. There's little kids that play.
I've met
little kids. I meet them all the time.
I met a lot of young kids too.
No, that sounds weird. I'm talking about a tournament. I'm talking about a tournament. That sounds fucking crazy. All right, moving on.
But yes, I met the parents of children who say they've approached me and said, "Oh, my kids watch your stream," and I'm like, they should not be watching. you know, like,
Yeah,
I curse way too much. I'm not setting a good example, but yeah, I've met families. Basically, you meet families now, and they have children that are participating in the tournament. So I've met families like that, and it's bizarre to see. And I'm like, damn, like I gotta clean up my act. It really does. It's one of those moments where I'm like, oh, I gotta be on my best behavior. I gotta clean up here. Don't fill with the F word every other sentence because your brain can't pull the right letter out.
I don't give a fuck, Brian.
Yeah,
I've thought about that, but I'm like, if they already watching and their parents is letting it happen, then that means that they know what I do already.
But what you do is more on that entertainment spectrum where it makes sense. For me, I use like cursing and stuff as a filler, which it doesn't even add anything to what I'm saying. It's just like a verbal tick, you know?
No, when you add that shit do something. That shit be funny as fuck when you do that shit.
It depends.
Like when I hear you cuss, that shit be funny as hell.
It depends. Sometimes it's called for. I agree.
Yeah.
They're the future. We're cooked.
Okay, bro. We did the groups, but there's another. Okay, I don't know how you want if you want to end the extra trashy thing, but there's something else I want to talk to you about.
What you got?
All right, chat. What I want to talk about is actually, how would I put this, bro? People like, fuck. This, and not to discourage people from pursue. People should pursue this shit if it's your passion, what you want to do. What I will say is, I don't think people realize what the fuck is actually required to be a fucking pro Street Fighter player and really make a living doing this shit. Like, to really, how hard it, like, people be like, oh, Blaz just inspired me with his performance. I'm gonna hit the lab. All right. Do you know who Blaz had to beat back to back to get second place? To get second place. And to be a god like Street Fighter player, like to be even in the money, in the conversation, you have to regularly beat the coldest motherfuckers ever. You gotta be, you might go and beat Punk, Nuckledu, MenaRD, Daigo, and Tokido in one tournament, and you got 7th place or 5th place. You get what I'm saying? I don't think people really think about what is really going on in these events and like why it's so crazy that Punk is able to or Tokido's able to or whatever the hell. You know?
Well, that's why. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, but no, and I just think so. It's like I think about that a lot, and then I think about the natural talent aspect as well. And I think there's a prerequisite of natural fucking talent at this thing. I think everybody has natural talent, but people have different levels of natural talent, and maybe the thing you're naturally great at is not Street Fighter per se. Maybe it's something else. But what players, chat? We all Street Fighter fucking historians. Allegedly. What player has ever not made an immediate splash and ended up being one of the greats? I feel like all of the greats were damn near immediately within the first couple years godlike. Where's the B level,
majority,
C plus level player?
The vast majority.
For fucking, that was C plus B level.
I'd have
for
to
fucking
I'd
5
have to
years.
think for the exception to the rule. I do agree. I think it's the rule. I think there have been exceptions. Kakeru, you could argue Kakeru. I mean, but he was playing Ryu at the end game of Street Fighter V. He went to Red Bull Kumite. He had a good Red Bull Kumite, though. He almost beat NL, I think it was, with Ryu, who ended up getting second to Problem X. He went to Evo, had made a splash, but didn't get far. But he's playing Ryu. And then in Street Fighter 6, he immediately...
I consider him somebody starting off fire.
He had like 1 or 2 years in Street Fighter 5 doing solid, and then started off fire in Street Fighter 6. He immediately burst out of the gate in Street Fighter 6 being one of the best. So
remember AngryBird at Capcom Cup, this one that we just watched. He did wake up dash forward super. Like, and it reminds me of Kakeru doing wake up dash forward DP. That dash forward DP on wake up at Evo in the big pressure moment alone, and it was the right read. Yeah, that's enough. That's all I need to see. That's not skill, brother. That's not talent. That's not skill. That's talent. That's natural talent. You don't train that. You felt that in that moment, and you know what I mean. There was no prep. Your body did that.
The thing is, I agree with you to a degree. We see that pattern over and over for who ends up being the best of the best. However, I will say the other perspective, which I don't think you disagree with this. I think you also agree. You should still try.
Yep.
At the end of the day, I think there's something human about it. There's something about training and working to improve. And I think that's such a psychological need that all humans have, is to work on a craft, work on a skill, and make incremental progress, and that's required for you as a human to maintain your self-esteem. It's so critical, and I think fighting games just represent another avenue for self-improvement. You can approach it from a healthy aspect and be like, this is another aspect of my life where I will create the grind, create the environment, and markedly show my progress and work towards improving my skill, and whatever results may come. And that's not the primary goal of it necessarily. I'm just inspired by maybe I'm inspired by the greats who performed feats that I can't even imagine, and that inspires me just to work on improving myself in some aspect, right? So I think that's important no matter what. Now, to your point as well, don't immediately drop out of school and quit your job and you've never even played the game before. Well, unless you're RobTV, I don't know. Isn't that that's not exactly
that's what I did? Yeah,
that's not exactly your story, but it's a little similar.
I didn't drop out to play Street Fighter. I dropped out of college just because, like, I was on my fucking self-help book shit, and I started a YouTube channel.
But you are the type of person to commit, go all in for what you want to do.
I don't believe in plan B. Yeah.
See.
I think people.
This is how I know we're getting old. I know we're getting old. We're telling people to not go all in, not do all this when you did it yourself. That's some shit.
I wouldn't recommend it for everybody, but I recommend it for me.
I wouldn't recommend, but this is what I did. That's when you know you're
getting older
because you survived, you made it, and you look back and go, "What the fuck? Like I did that."
Yeah. That's just dangerous as fucking the end of the day.
Yeah,
but
risky.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, Brian, in chat, I will agree to, and I will say that I don't think most people even try hard enough to even see where their fucking ceiling is at.
Yes. You never know unless you try.
Like, you never even got to the top of whatever your natural fucking talent could get you to.
Right. So
you don't even know. You might be able to be the best in the world or some shit. You know what I mean?
And it's also about environment. There's so many variables outside of your control, like environment. And like you mentioned, I 100% believe that starting young is the number one cheat code. I think beyond talents, I think that's the number one way to unlock your potential is you just had to have started young. And so then also like how much exposure you had, how much free time you had. There's so many variables outside your control. The best you can do is maximize what you can control, and maximize your effort and see where your ceiling is. And even if you don't make it, there's a joy in that. And that's when like I see you're on social media, people try to talk shit about you, like, oh, you didn't win X, Y, or Z, why even trying? They try to like pull you down because you dare to try to be great. If you're like chat, I'm talking to chat too. If you are ever afraid of that, those people are punk ass bitches who have never done anything in their life. I think anyone who's tried to achieve something great can respect somebody else giving it their all, even if you don't achieve it, even if it doesn't come to fruition. Just the fact that you're willing to put your pride out there and your ego out there and be willing to accept that you might fail is respectable to any decent human being.
It's like when you watch boxers or UFC fighters, you could get knocked the fuck out, but I'm gonna respect that you even stepped in that motherfucker. Yeah. However, Brian, you the goddamn good cop, right? I'm the bad cop. When Daigo, I remember Daigo said he was talking about some young players in Japan, and Daigo straight told motherfucker like, "Hey, you ain't cut out for this. Stop." But I think what he had said, FTD translator was talking about this, but what he told him, but what basically his reasoning was like, if he really stopped after I said that, then it's not for him. I agree. Look, if you too scared of the moment,
some, like,
if you too
generic,
if motherfucker tell you no,
shonen anime bullshit. Like
Daigo
watched one too many animes. It's like, I should tell him to stop. And if he continues on, he's meant for.
Daigo did it. He did that shit.
And that kid cried and went home, and he never tried to learn a skill ever again in his life, and he became a shut-in loser.
Yeah,
that's what his life.
That's what he get. He a fucking loser. He shouldn't have quit. But honestly, I don't know, bro. I feel like realistically though, like, I don't know, bro. I just don't necessarily think everybody, as far as like professionally, I don't think this shit for everybody. And I don't think people respect the skill that they're seeing. I'll say that. Most importantly, the most important part, I don't think people respect the significance of what the fuck they're seeing on that screen. Like, you gotta beat, bro. When Punk was winning fucking 1,000 tournaments, when Tokido was winning 1,000 tournaments in a row, do you know who the fuck they was beating, bro? Like every fucking month, every weekend. Yeah. And you got to beat all them in the first two. in this tournament, you had to win round robins. You had to beat everybody in your group, different characters, elite players, Capcom Cup champions, Evo champions, different countries, years of experience. Well, that's what I'm saying. What Blaz did is this the best performance that we ever seen in a modern era?
The run he had,
I'm gonna put
maybe,
or
this might be one of the most impressive tournament runs
Jin?
for Street Fighter 6.
I think Jin's is still Jin. Damn, it's the 15 chat Jin's run versus Blaz run. Blaz 15 and did all this shit and was dominating. Jin won fucking LCQ and went to Grand Finals of Capcom Cup. That's tough. It's the age thing that makes it close to me.
And Jen beat everybody also.
LCQ, bro. And even the fact that he had to beat Problem X and he was fake Problem X, like that shit was crazy, bro.
I just feel bad for Jen for doing it not at this venue. You know what I mean? Like when I'm imagining the images in my head, just the way it looked on stream was just so much bigger. There's something to that. My bias is already being my emotional bias is already being pulled by the spectacle before me.
Yeah.
There was just so much going on there.
Like, but Jin probably had the best run ever though.
Yeah, from LCQ all the way through to second place. Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
But
what I'm like, as far as like just me being bro, I don't know the last time I felt this emotion when watching Street Fighter of when he beat fucking Noah 3-0, AngryBird 3-0, Leshar 3-0.
Right.
That emotion was one of my like, my brain could not even process.
Jen went 5-0 in groups also with a +8 game differential, beating Geeko, Mortzi, Mono, Big Bird, Momochi. And then he beat Kawano, the Evo champion. Then he beat AngryBird 3-0, lost to MenaRD. Then he beat iDom 3-1 when iDom was beating everybody, and then lost to Mena 3-1. So he only lost to Mena. There's a lot of parallels here.
Those names that you just said.
3-0 AngryBird. 3-1 Kawano. And 3-1 iDom.
Momochi.
And Momochi.
Bird,
the thing is, he didn't go to losers early
beat Big
enough.
Bird and AngryBird?
He beat Big Bird and AngryBird, yeah.
Stop.
The thing is, Blaz had a more satisfactory narrative to the run because he also went to losers earlier. So he got to beat more people in the bracket.
Yeah.
Which
in the actual cup.
Like if he had to play MenaRD right out of groups, if he played MenaRD right away, lost, and then beat all those people and more in losers, it would have felt more powerful. But run wise,
and Cross said he beat Broski, Gachi-kun, Shuto, and Kichipamu in LSQ. And Problem X. You ain't even say Problem X.
Yeah, he didn't even make the cut.
Damn.
He didn't make the cut.
What'd you say?
He didn't make the cut. Yeah, he got the real title for Problem X.
Yeah, he snatched it.
Oh man.
Hi-Fi said him using Ryu is a big factor. I agree. The fact that he was using Ryu made it way sweeter. Like if he was using fucking
playing like Daigo in Japan, Daigo's getting old. Now there's a young kid. Yeah, there's a lot going on narratively.
It's like Michael Jordan ain't just cold because he might. It's also the way it looked.
Yes,
was dope as fuck. Like nobody want to see the boring ass. It's the way he did it too.
Right.
The way he did it, that was the most. The way he was playing, bro. The drive rush overheads and shit. Yeah. Nah, he was different.
Bulldogging them.
It was like, bro, what even is Blaz style? I feel like it was like his fundamentals were very solid, but up close, he was oppressive. Was terror.
Oppressive. No, he was suffocating. You couldn't breathe. He was constantly forcing the offensive issue. I mean, not like a Noah, but like you felt the aura of his approach. You felt the threat of all his options at every range.
You could feel like you being cornered, like in a boxing match. Like I said, here he comes.
That first round against Xian, I was like, oh, there's Daigo. Like it's over. Like he understands the ranges and he uses that to pressure them and get into offensive situations, and then he beats the shit out of them quick.
Yeah.
Not throwing everything against the wall. Speaking of Noah, shout out to Noah for the big raid.
Oh, what's up, Noah? Noah, how many pairs of those slides you got? I said 1.
He dropped combo for burnout. I talked about that earlier, Hi-Fi. I mentioned that how he like landed a big jump in and he stopped the combo to reset after a heavy punch on hit. He stopped and just did another heavy punch into the Hashogeki string to burn him out.
Crazy.
I've never seen that. That to me, like, imagine making that calculation. That goes against almost everything I know as a Street Fighter player of dropping guaranteed damage. Like maybe a reset here and there at the end of a scaled combo, but to drop guaranteed damage to do a block string that quick,
yeah,
and from a heavy,
yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Like not even a reset to try to hit you with like an overhead or something like that.
No,
or like to kill you or to throw you. A reset for you to block.
Yes, he got a combo to set up plus frame so he can do a block string in the middle of it.
That's fire.
And then
That's
burn.
elite.
It took like I think almost 2 bars of drive meter, and it was I forgot which match that was, but I'm visualizing the Hashogeki sequence in my head. It was somewhere near the top 4. But yeah, that was.
He was like a pit bull when he got in. It was like a pit bull, like his jaws locked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he was in, it was over with, bro. I just feel like he had everything, and the style of it was just so. There was no. It's that his age and the style was so. It looked repeatable for him.
Yes.
Like it looked like there's a reason why he's winning. It's not, oh, he's going crazy. People not ready for this, or it was like the style was. It was solid as fuck.
Yeah, very solid.
Then the reads were, the reads he had were like, you know what you would expect from iDom Itabashi.
Right. Did you see also
the
when
consistency of his
he does do overhead resets a lot? I noticed though. But did you see the one where he got on Xian the overhead from he did standing light kick drivers cancel into overhead, link straight into level 3 to end the set.
I don't remember it clear.
He did that to Xian to end the set 3-0. Just like he had it in the corner, tap light kick, quick drivers cancel overhead, immediate level 3 like a link, and then he in the corner camera you can see he like looks up to the crowd and goes like he does the Shoryuken, and Xian had a shit ton of life.
Blaz did that?
Yeah, he did that, and he was like smiling like yeah, like you didn't see that. When I saw that, I was like,
bro, no.
The fact that
I might have been asleep.
The fact that he even knew that was going to kill. I'm telling you, you look at the life situation, and I'm like, why is he not looking? He started not looking.
The whole chat not expecting it.
Yeah,
not expecting. No one. Kill.
It wasn't like, oh, is this gonna kill moment? I thought he had a pixel or something left. I'm like, why did he stop looking at the screen? And then he emotes on Xian to 3-0 him after that start and that finish. I was like, okay,
that's in top 16.
That's the first match in losers against Xian.
Bro, that boy was not up there with no pressure, man.
Yeah, Hi-Fi says it was like a 45% overhead to level 3. Like, I've never seen that combo. Apparently that's the optimal combo from overhead if in that drive meter situation. You just go straight into level 3. I didn't know.
That's a peek. That's a peek behind the curtain of what his training is like.
Yeah.
That's a peek behind the curtain.
It's clear that he has optimal conversions and awareness. Like, I didn't notice them until I did the recap. I went back and watched, and then I was like just like that drive burnout sequence. In the heat of the moment, I thought he dropped the combo. And then I watched it again, and I was like, no, like he had the Denjin charge, he had this meter, and he like crunched the numbers.
When you watched it live, you thought it was a drop.
Yeah, or I was like, I don't know what I didn't really understand what happened, but then I saw that he got a burnout. But when I watched the reset, I was like, when I watched it again, I was like, oh, like this was planned. And to crunch those numbers in that moment in Capcom Cup,
yeah, that's crazy.
He's got extra CPUs. I don't know.
Different, brother. I'm so excited. I'm excited about him. Now I just want, bro. We need him and Kumite, bro. My mama.
They planned it ahead of time. That would have been sick. But he'll be at Esports World Cup, so there'll at least be another international showing. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I'm very excited. I know we're gonna close the stream, but I'm just gonna say I'm very excited about the whole. I think the EWC 3-year partnership shit for the scene as a whole, like just outside of everybody's subjective, I'm just speaking as far as objectively, that shit is huge for like, that's how most players get their sponsorships and shit right now, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, that's just a fact.
Right.
Like it's because of EWC. And now we got way more. We got
the tour is stepping
majors.
up. It's weird because when I looked at that, I thought Esports World Cup was going to eat Capcom Cup's lunch. That's what I thought, unless they made a change.
Before they start,
I wasn't expecting a partnership. I thought literally Esports World Cup was going to eat the Capcom Pro Tour. Yeah, absolutely. So them doing a partnership is interesting, and it makes sense. but
Yeah, it
yeah,
does.
we'll see. I mean, it's paying for the players for sure. For sure, the players are getting sponsored specifically for the Esports World Cup because they're paying for it. I mean, they have infinite money. It's not a fair game.
It was dry for a minute, so that really is like, yeah, for the play. Then 3 years, bro, like that's fucking huge.
Right.
That's huge.
I mean,
I already know people are talking to teams behind the scenes and shit.
I don't
Brian,
know
don't
how
start your boy. Brian, shut the fuck up.
I also have some
All right,
concerns
ladies and
about the
gentlemen,
whole
hopefully you guys enjoyed
lay of
the
the
stream
land.
today. Extra trash. Is this trash talk or extra? This is trash talk.
This is extra trashy.
Bro, what the fuck? Why you only put me on fucking extra trashy like I'm a hoe or something?
You only get one.
Oh, trash talk is the fucking is
The interview series.
I thought you and Brian joint was. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I see what you're saying.
My branding is
trash
confusing.
talk
I'm
is
trying
the
to figure it out.
fucking one-on-one.
Extra trashy is meant to just be the topical live. We just
But I feel like this
fuck
is
around.
just. I feel like this one was just bigger than the regular extra trashy.
Oh,
It was
because
like
Hollywood RobTV is on it, and that's why.
No. Because of the topic. Because of the topic. Because of the topic. Shut the fuck up, Brian. Because of the topic.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah. Much love, chat.
We're wrapping it up.
Subscribe to my YouTube.
You heard the man. All right, extra trashy listeners, we're out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace. Thank you so much again for tuning into this episode of Extra Trashy. And now here at the end, this is where I take a moment to thank our patrons and supporters over at patreon.com/Brian_F. If you're watching a video feed, you might be seeing their name scrolling by right now. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for supporting. In case you were wondering, yes, we will have a return to full in-depth trash talk soon. We have interviews lined up with legendary members of the fighting game community that have in-depth content and discussion with more edited premium experiences for you available very soon. And that means we will have exclusive segments and uncut interviews available on the Patreon for paid tier members as well. If you're interested in supporting and seeing what free content is there, you can head on over to patreon.com/Brian_F for yourself. Thanks again to all our supporters and for anyone tuning in. We really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.